Tonight's show, Soul Meet Ego. And I'm answering all your questions with live readings coming up right now.
Does it look like a Devin or David?
David is his name. It's been so spot on.
And I don't know if you put it in the side of your end table or not. You saw like there's something in your end table that you this too.
My God, you're crazy.
Yeah.
You might be hard on your right knee when you're running. Make sure you're not too hard on the right knee.
100%.
Okay.
Honey, I'm a runway walker. Okay.
He's saying to work with some sort of like vibrational machine. Somehow a way to work with like machinery and vibration.
I work with horses, and there's actually some magnawave therapy that's vibrational.
Tell me something that he told you that came true.
Everything he's predicted has come true.
I just don't see it.
And he doesn't have cancer?
It's very possible.
Allow yourself to hear yourself. Allow yourself to feel yourself. Allow yourself to talk to yourself. Allow yourself to respond to yourself. That's looking within.
You might encounter negative aspects of self, but that's a freeing experience.
Because then they start realizing that they can't think outside the box. And I say, if you can't think outside the box, then who's the stupid one here? The ascension is not just planet Earth, it's actually galactic. It's all interdimensional. And I think that, again, we have to understand our participation in that process. So I don't just come on here and talk bullshit and repeat. I'm living this stuff.
In harmony with nature, in a mystical adventure, we're building on the culture.
Happy Thursday Night Live, everyone. Welcome to the Cruisyverse. How has your week been? What's going on? How y'all feeling? Has it been heavy? Has it been odd? We have an eclipse this weekend, so are you preparing for that? We need to be preparing for that because it's going to be more energy hitting our way. Look, when we're ascending, we're evolving, because we're all ascending, not just certain people. You're going to be hit with so many different challenges and so many different energies, because things are breaking down so we can break through, and sometimes things will fragment so we can put the pieces back together the way we know we want to put the pieces back together. So it's not a bad thing. And so, as I always preach with these different currents of energies, there's a duality to everything. There's a positive pole, there's a negative pole, which means it's a powering pole and a disempowering pole. So we can utilize those energies to work in our favor as long as we're aware. And I always say, don't be worried. Oh, this planet is here and this is in retrograde. I'm scared. And say, don't worry about that. Understand what the message is of the energy, of the alignments, and we can experience the, again, like I said before, the positive aspect and the negative aspects. So, welcome aboard tonight. And I want to say too, I appreciate everybody who's been kind of consistently watching this show, consistently watching LOL, and appreciate all you guys who've been very supportive of that. So I just want to give a shout out to all of you guys in the room too. So who's Chatty Cathy in the room? Let's see. Just gonna give quick shout outs. Alma Ford, good to see you. Jennifer Cruz, David Cruz, my mother and father in the room. How supportive are they, right? Isn't that amazing? Colleen F, Brenna Zweck. We got Allie Taylor, Colleen F. Our wonderful mod Nina is in the room. She's a little under the weather. Give Nina some love. We don't have a channeled message from her today, unfortunately, but she's got to take care of herself too. So she's been channeling other things, right, Nina, or purging other things. But give her some love. Send her blessings because she's a little under the weather. So we can all just raise the frequency for Nina. But if you do have a question you want to get in, people have actually already been putting questions in, so I might have to close them down early because there's already tons of questions already in before we would start the show. But it's $15 for a card pull, $20 for one question, $30 for two questions, and $40 for a live video. The PayPal and Venmo links are in the description. Any questions, Nina will help you to navigate and get your questions in. And again, get them in. It's first come, first serve, and I'm going to shut them down because I can't go too long tonight, although I want to serve. But I do have a limit, right? We all do. Iggy, can't you see, says, y'all ready for this weekend of historic astrology, right? It's going to be historicals. So yeah, I mean, and maybe Iggy, you can, oh God, I should have had you come on tonight to talk about it. Maybe later on if you're prepared. We'll see. Darby Mabry, love, hola. It's Aries season. Bring it on, baby. And hello, good to see you from Arizona. Sydney Aaron, boom, boom, boom. Waiting to let's spend the rest of the night together from now and forever. Okay, it sounds like a song. Good to see you. Colette Love, Noel Way, my sister from another mister. Good to see you. Welcome aboard. Lillian Aurora, Kate. Angie Russell. We got also Horses Trigger Hope. Hello, good to see you. Crazy for Coconuts. Good to see you. Abby Coe. Lauren Masalis. Long time no see. Heavy times. Good place to be when things get a little heavy. So welcome aboard. Michaela, James Porterfield, good to see you. And who else is chatty catty in the room? Just want to acknowledge all y'all. I'm Ford, of course, M. Berg. And all you all are chatting catty in the room. And those who watch it can't see you. Oh, and Lauren Masali is good to see you. I don't know if you said that. Bright like Becca Boo. Just gotta embrace the love. Love you. You're amazingly beautiful on the inside. Thank you. What about the outside? You forgot the outside. I'm just kidding. On the inside is good, yes, but the outside is not so shabby, right? No, I'm just totally teasing. But thank you so much for that. Colleen F., good to see you. And Stephanie Panhar is in the room. Danny S. and Rhonda and Sophie. All right, good to see you all. And those who are watching, welcome aboard. And those of you who are new, I will start with a collective read using tarot, and my oracle cards are not here. They must be in my other office. Damn it. But we'll just do tarot today. And then the topic is, and we'll make the topic very short and simple and sweet, called Soul Meet Ego. And we'll talk about how we can merge the two. And it's not about killing the ego. It's all about nurturing the ego. So we'll explain, or I'll explain. I say we because I'm in spirit. But I'll discuss how you can understand the sinking of the two. This way you're not feeling in contempt of self and things split, right? So, but let's get into the collective read, shall we? Shuffling it. Thank you, Kayla. You're such a cutie pie. I'm just kidding, because usually people say you're beautiful inside and out. Like, usually that's always a phrase. It's like, you're beautiful on the inside, period. So I'm being completely playful. But I get the emphasis. A lot of people going to Sedona for light holding events. When, this weekend, Iggy? Clarify. All right, let's see. And I'll probably I usually like to do week-to-week forecasts. I might just kind of see what the message is. Not so much about the forecast, because sometimes I'm like, I need the forecast of the week. But a lot of times it's very repetitive about the forecast and where we go and how we're schlepping along, right? But I think I'm just going to do more of see what the message is just overall. So, and I'm shuffling. Man, I wish I had my oracle cards. I wish I had somebody, see... When I move with my partner next month, and I'm no longer living alone, when I move with my partner, I could just like text my partner, can you go get my oracle cards? And he'll bring them in. That would be very nice, actually, when he does that. April Sparks is in the house. Good to see you, April Sparks. Been a long time. Sending you love and return. Hope all is well. We need you to catch up soon. And we're shuffling. Okay, let's see here. Oh, three of wands, world in reversed, the Fool card, and the Page of Wands, and the Strength in reversed. Okay. I think I understand what this is saying. This is going to be kind of a message and a forecast for the week ahead, right? But also I think it's just a general message of where we're going to just in the year too. So a couple seconds, let me tune in. Okay. Integrity. Are you guys having integrity? And when I say integrity, I'm talking about in every dynamic of your life. Ask yourselves, am I behaving with integrity in my life? Am I behaving with integrity in my relationships? Am I behaving with integrity in my work? Am I just overall, generally speaking, are you behaving in integrity? And not just about integrity does not be being proudful or prideful. I think a lot of people misinterpret integrity as being very prideful, boastful, egotistical, and all that. And that's not what integrity is. Integrity is doing what is correct no matter what. No matter what the circumstance, no matter what the situation, you're doing what's best for you and best on your own personal morals, based on your own personal morals, and what you know is true for you, and holding that to be, true for yourself. But also integrity is not only just standing up for beliefs, because I always say beliefs can be very limiting and very inhibiting to our growth and evolution. And so we have to be very careful of the beliefs that we're clutching, because a lot of times we'll hold on to belief and we'll hold on to it at all costs. And, of course, it'd be like life or death for us if we want to get rid of a belief. We'll fight against those beliefs. That's not integrity. Because integrity means you will look at those beliefs and say to yourself, are those beliefs really fitting into the overall essence of what is beneficial for me and how I contribute to the collective? Right? So, for example, a really shitty belief is when people clench the idea that, of discrimination. They say gays should not get married. Right? And so that's a belief that people hold on to, and they hold on to it and they think they're having integrity about their belief, but that belief in itself is it's discriminatory, right? Very separating, segregating, right? So therefore, true integrity means that it has to be best on the soul level and best what is, for what is, for everybody else around and for the collective too. Right? That's true integrity. So we have to work on what are our morals? And why do we have the morals that we have? Is it because of built-in beliefs because of religion? Or is it because of built-in beliefs because of mom or dad's limited experiences that they kind of taught you how to see life in a very limited way because of their own fears of what they've experienced? So we need to just check in, and it means you might even have to turn our world upside down and say, gosh, I've been holding on to these set of morals or these set of beliefs that, are they very moral? They're kind of just like limited beliefs, or they're very separating type of beliefs. And, and I always say, positive and negative isn't about like, oh, good and happy and negative is bad and evil. Positive energy is just an energy that's very collective. It's growing, it's expansive, it's connecting, right? And negative energy is just separating and disconnecting. So ask yourself, are the beliefs and morals that you have, are they connecting and evolving and expanding in nature, or are they very segregating and disconnecting in nature? And so these are the things we want to look at, because integrity means that we're coming from the soul integrity, right? Because when we preach, and everyone preaches love is light, love, 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 love all the time, most of the times they're not putting out the love. Right? And just as we were talking about this morning about many people who are talking about that's not loving as they're being hateful and critiquing and, tearing people down, and it's always the ones preaching something are the ones that are kind of not following suit with that. Right? And when I say preaching, I'm talking about ordering people to do something, right? Ordering people to be a certain way is because obviously they don't know how to be in their own essence and let people to be in their own essences, right? So those morals, when you're trying to shove it down people's throat or get people to believe and to feel what you believe and feel, no. Those are beliefs and limited beliefs based off fear. So, and a lot of beliefs that we have and we possess, we've inherited because of maybe our parents and poor upbringings, or like I said before, religious aspects and traditional aspects that are now very outdated. Religion in itself is very outdated. There's nothing progressive within that. Right? And if we think about the context of, a man and woman having children and having to have marriage, and that context of marriage being in that format, well, that's great. That's tradition. But things expand. There's limitations of that, of having to evolve to have different modalities of family. And when people force their morals down people's throats, one needs to ask, okay, well, if we have to have a mom and a dad in a household, and that's the family, we have to have children, what about those circumstances where a child loses a parent? Either through accident or ill health? Does that mean that's bad? Or does that mean that's not a moral circumstance because a child maybe lost a parent because of death or an accident? Right? And so a lot of people say, it should be a straight household and straight parents and no gay parenting. It's like, well, what does it matter if there's a male or female component? All a child needs is love, right? So we are creating now and evolving our essence of family by saying we can create family in any different context, through friendships, through people we meet in our communities. We can create an essence of family despite if we have the blood family or not. And many people are starting to recognize that their blood family isn't really family at all. So how are the morals and the beliefs built in from tradition really helping us to evolve? What is it really solving? Right? Because I always say people hold, give so many free passes to family members because they're family. And I say, no, if they're family, they need to be held to a higher standard. They shouldn't be doing those things that you're giving a free pass on because they're family. But my point here is we have a lot of built-in beliefs that we call morals that are outdated and prevent our species from evolving, but also prevents our minds from evolving too on the individual levels as well. And so this is what the soul needs. Because again, I'm always a huge, repetitive preacher and teacher and talker and motivator about we're here to evolve. We're here to expand. We're here to become a better version every day, baby. That's what we're here for. A better version every day. A more empowered version every day. And when we allow these set of morals to be in our subconscious, we then may not realize that those are the very things that are blocking us from achieving the things that we know and we say that we want. So it's time to flip it upside down. It's time to shake out the container, say, what beliefs are in here? What is in here? And start saying, do I need this? This is from, 1989. Do I need this? No, I'm going to chuck that, right? It's time to do so. It's time to create a new set of boundaries, new set of beliefs, and a new set of morals. And understanding where they're deriving from. And they should be deriving from your heart, the heart space, and the soul space. The soul space and heart space, to me, is one. It's synonymous. We just have different ways of classifying the heart as physical, but the heart is really what the soul is. That's where things should be deriving from. And if you have a set of morals that actually tramples on somebody else, that's not a moral. That's just a fear. That's just a limitation to keep you safe. But it's time to break down these barriers, because as things open up, as things evolve within the collective consciousness, and as we're pushed to try to get along and pushed to finally become unified against big governments, big corporations, big pharma, religious aspects that have been, limiting. It's time to evolve even the religious aspects. So we're going to need to understand what it is to have a set of morals and beliefs that are compatible to the collective and the well-being of everybody else. If you all want a better planet. I see many people trying to strive for a better planet and complaining about politics and complaining about a better planet, but they're not really changing their own set of morals to understand what they can do to participate in the well-being for themselves, but also how to extend that to others around them in their day-to-day. What people misunderstand is little acts of kindness, little acts of being, I would say connecting with somebody along the way makes a huge difference. There could be someone depressed, and I've experienced this many times in my life. Some are very depressed in life. They're walking around miserable. They're in contempt. They could be caretaking a dying loved one. And they don't really feel like they have anybody around them. You walk in, you smile to them, say, hi, how's it going? They start a conversation, you move along, and that person's like, I needed that. I felt love. I felt compassion in that moment. That made me feel good. That brightened my day. And when that brightens their day, they're able to see things a little differently for that period of time, to make a decision to make things better for themselves, make better decisions for themselves, and thus helping the situation that they're challenged with, so to speak. Creates a domino effect. Now imagine if everybody in this planet did these little acts of kindness, these little deeds of just connection, little deeds of actual love and actual nurturing in our environment. And we're not bickering over whose morals are better than the other. We're not bickering over beliefs. We're just saying, we're just trying to do little things along the way to make us feel connected, to make us feel supported. That will change, and that would spread like wildfire. So many guys are underestimating those little deeds, or underestimating those little changes, those little expressions. You're all underestimating, thinking that you have to do something grandeur. Nope. You start small, you start little, it starts spreading. You pass on something nice, that person will pass on something nice, and it just keeps continuing. How many times have you had something nice done to you, and you immediately want to do something nice for somebody else? It's I don't say cancerous. I don't want to say toxic either, but it's palpable, that energy. Just like the negative energy spreads. So when we're conscious about doing that on the smaller levels, you'd be surprised how it's going to spread and how everyone can start behaving accordingly. But what I'm finding is, so many people in disagreements and arguments happen because people are either misunderstood or not expressing themselves accordingly, or because they're reacting to their current circumstances. And it's not truly where they're at. It's not truly where their heart is. Right? And I was watching videos last night, and this kind of inspired me on this topic of the conversation. Is I was watching like these freak out videos. I love to look at the psychology of humans, how they react. And there was this one woman that was there. And she started yelling that I've been waiting here forever. I came here and all these people came here behind me and I'm still waiting. And I put my husband in a nursing home, and she just exploded. Many people look at her and say, oh my gosh, she's so crazy. But if you really sit back and think of this woman she's in a wheelchair herself. She put her husband in a nursing home, trying to caretake him while she could barely caretake herself. She's going to get medication for him. She's waiting and waiting, and she's on a time essence. He's needing her. These people start showing up. She's like, oh my God, I got all these people around me and I'm just waiting. And she just has a moment of breakdown. If you see it for just being, and besides that breakdown, she might be a normal person in life. A normal person. Person who was giving. A person who just shows up for people. But she had a breaking point. We're so quick to judge people. Because we're so quick to judge ourselves, that when someone just makes a little bit of a snapping, oh my God, look at that. You know? I mean, and I remember the being on social media and not wanting to do so, feeling an obligation to want to help raise frequency and raise, the conscious awareness of what's going on in our planet and our species and our collective. I didn't really care to deal with people's bullshit because I'm like, I don't have to do this. I don't need to be here, and so I understand it's part of the territory, but this is something Spirit said to do. And I'm like, I don't want to do this, Spirit. I don't want to be on YouTube, right? I've been saying this for a while to make a point. And so I remember I made one little joke on LOL and people were just reaming me. And they didn't know I was gay, right? And I was becoming gay bash, and also because I made one little comical joke that people just didn't like because I'm anti-politics, right? And I'm thinking to myself, out of all the messages, out of all the caretaking, of all the free services I've given, of all the things I've done, this one little political joke of being comical, people are going crazy and spewing all this hate, saying I'm hateful. You see what I'm saying? Is that productive for people? It's not productive. And it doesn't go on just with people it goes on outside. I see people doing it in the grocery store. I see people doing it within their own friendships. I see people doing it all the freaking time, playing this holier thou mentality. And a lot of this comes from imbalanced morals. Well, I believe that you shouldn't do that. And it's like, well, that's your belief. What does your belief stem from? You believe we can't be crass and jokeful and playful? Where's that come from? See, all these things are limiting our perspective and how we can truly get along and connect. And, and a lot of what needs to be done, what I've been trying to do deliberately, is break through and cut through all the fluff. The fluff, because what people don't understand is the fluff is like a pacifier for people to shelter themselves from actual reality. I need the fluff. Okay, love and light. Yeah, I feel good. And then they get so comfortable, they don't do any change. They become more dependent on the fluff and the coddling, and that's more detrimental than going out there and experiencing negativity in the real world. So it's time for us that we start breaking all those modalities, and that's where freedom really exists. You're free to be who you are. You're free to say what you want to say. You're free to think what you want to think. You're free to create your own standards. You're free to do whatever you please. No one's judging you for that, only you. This is the state of being we all need to start merging into. This is the state of being that we need to start embracing right now, because what is all this judgment doing? Is it creating a better society for us? No. Is it making people more moral? Nah. Is it making things more inclusive? Is it making things more in flow? Nope. Is it making people more loving? Hell no, it ain't. So this is why we have to convert all that so we can be more loving, more inclusive, more connected, more understanding, more live and let be energy. You do you. I get where you're coming from. And I've been noticing a lot lately, because I tend to like just talk and talk to people in the street randomly, even homeless people. And like, what's your story, dude? And what you would think they'd be you would hear from them, you don't hear that. You hear something completely differently. Something completely different that you wouldn't think. Or what someone's going through. And I always talk to the clerks at the grocery store, and I always kind of like nuzzle up to the same clerk in grocery store. And this, this one woman that I see at Albertson, she's always very irritable. Can't stand people. People just don't listen. People are so annoying. People just need me. And I'm just like, normally people think she's a bitch, but then I found out after like talking to her and kind of just being cheeky with her, I'm like, I understand. I know people could be difficult. She's like, then found out her husband's dying, has 2 years to live. Of course she's going to be irritable with people pulling from her all the time. Duh. But most people judge her, call her names and pick at her, call her bitch every day when she's working because she's just, trying to do her job. And, and so we have to break this cycle. We have to break this cycle of, it doesn't make me comfortable, so it's you're the problem. We got to break that. We have to break that. Sorry, my light just died here because Let's see if it's going to charge or not. We have to break that cycle, guys. And we have to get out of that momentum, because this is what's going to set us free. This is where we're going to evolve. This is where we're going to start, like, hate can spread like wildfire, but so can love. Love can totally spread and be like a domino effect and bring great change on the littlest things, the littlest acts of kindness is what we need to do. And even just listening to somebody, or just reaching out to someone and say, hey, you okay? Is everything all right? And just a little bit of a pep talk. It changes things for all of us. We got to start there. Start there, guys. Start there. So, we all have the power. We all have that strength, and what's been very frustrating for me for a long time is just seeing people like just always complaining about what people are not doing, and complaining about how people are, instead of being the person they know they should become. That's the difference. That's what needs to be changed here. And I want to know why my light is just like died here. It looked better. It was good. Now it's not working. So, very strange. Give me a second here. Maybe that's a sign the light just went out. I think it literally just died or something. But these are the things that we want to pay attention to, guys. This is the change. This is what we're going to look at, because, talking about this weekend and the eclipse energy, like, you will be beside yourself. You will be beside yourself. You will be forced to look at those differences, the dichotomies of your goods and your bads. Almost like you're in between the dichotomy of self. And you're going to need to start purging and reconstructing and getting rid of what doesn't work and bringing on what does work. You're going to need to do this. And it's going to be a great saving grace for you to find the balance and just release and exhale in life for a change. They said this. They posted that. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened. They had this. All this like clutching the pearl energy. Well, what are you doing? Right? So, and I was just, even before the show, just saw this person just writing disgusting comments. Every disgusting comments. And then another comment was like, you guys aren't being loving enough. As a comment sap that was being hateful about physical appearances to things, right? Can we really analyze ourselves? And I'm going to go back to 1995, when people used to say, when you have a one finger point this way, there's four more pointing back at you, right? Let's remind ourselves of those cliche sentiments back in our day, that it's all projection. It's all projection. Because if you didn't, I always use a terminology, and I'll repeat myself, I'm going to end this soon, is that what we react to, we relate to. Understand this. If someone did something you just didn't like, you're like, I don't care for that. Or you'd be on and say, I understand where it's coming from. And you'd be more objective. But your reaction to something means you relate to that. That is your energy, baby. Both good and bad. When you react to the love of somebody, that is your love too. You have the same love. When you react to someone being appreciative and caring, you're appreciative and caring too. You're reacting to what you relate to. If you're acting for someone being like hostile and negative energy, and you react to that's charging you up, that is your energy too, baby. You're hostile. You're dismissive. You're judgmental. Same thing. What a great thing to realize where we stand based on what's standing around us, and what we react to, we relate to. We're great to understand what's going on within us. But there's too many people out there that don't want to do that. Just want to tweak everybody else. And that's because I blame the set of morals that have been created through Christianity, through all the religions, through the New Age crapola and all that stuff. They create these beliefs and set of morals that's so off-brand to the soul. That creates all that self-judgment and also judgment for others, because others got to make me feel happy. Others got to make me feel comfortable. No. It's our job to start with the self. And when we do, this is what this new beginnings is, right? The new beginnings of seeing life, and like, oh my God, life opens up. You start recognizing there aren't that many evil people out there, or that many people that are ill-intended. They're just reacting to themselves. They're all reacting themselves, right? So, and you'll start saying to yourself, what can I do to not be I would say, not to ignite the fire within somebody else? How can I bring change where I actually help someone to spin that energy? You'll start seeing things that way. So, this is the change, guys, and this is where we're going. This is where we're heading right now. And let me tell you this. If you don't adapt these ideas, you don't change those modalities, you're going to be entrenched and stuck in the judgment, stuck in the non-progressive energy, stuck in, almost like feeling buried over your head because everybody else is progressing. You're not. So you're just going to be like in the trail end, in the dust, so to speak, and everything's going to be very cloudy for you. And it'll be even more difficult to understand that And so my job, I feel like, is to make sure you don't get left behind in that sense, that you don't, disconnect yourself from the trailblazers, that you become a trailblazer in that regard, in every little way, in your own little ways. The little deeds are so big. And give yourself that reprieve of nurturing and love energy. I can't see, I haven't, and I've been observing this for many decades. So all you guys commenting and the love and light crap, you're all rookies to me. I've been observing since a child. I've been studying this. Since I was young, I've been studying personal behavior. I have not met one person that preaches love and life and preaches positivity that is it themselves or exhibit it themselves. Not one. Because the people that really are preaching positivity are showing the positivity. They're showing it. They're not talking about it or pointing the fingers at anybody. They're actually exhibiting it. So all those that are preaching it and talking about what's positive or not positive, it's rather transparent. Look at that. And I feel like that's a wonderful thing when you look and read your own comments or what you're writing, your own text messages to people, and just go back and just like third perspective, look at what you're saying to people and how you're saying it. Big eye opener. You might start recognizing that the other people aren't the problem. And you might even start recognizing, why are other people becoming the problem for me? Right? They shouldn't be a problem. It's a very enlightening idea. And I will tell you this, guys, through my evolution ascension process, I can't tell you how many times I say to myself, Scott, get the fuck over yourself. Scott, get the fuck over yourself. Talking to the ego. Ego, get the fuck over yourself, Scott. I can't tell you how many times. Is this light on? Give me a second, guys. There it goes. It's charging, baby. It's charging now. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I had to tell myself to get the fuck over myself because the ego trying to boast up and poke its chest up and say like this, no, I have to fight to survive and I'm correct. Right. And I spent decades doing that to myself to evolve. My whole 30s, I spent in my 30s, just so you guys know more about me, I'm going to be more transparent. I didn't go out. I didn't date. I was dating and just had partners here and there and Netflix and chill energies, but I spent so much time burying myself in trauma, burying myself in reading on psychology, burying myself in practicing my mystical, abilities, spending time like spiraling down past incarnations and this incarnation and understanding how my brain and mind is working and why I'm feeling and reacting to things I'm reacting to understand the process of how we all, behave. Human behavior has been a fascination of mine since I was a young child. And so that is where I start recognizing, oh, okay, I'm kind of seeing this blueprint here. I'm going to make this easier on people so they don't have to spend decades of this work on themselves. They can just, boom, get it done, understand the simplicity and shift it quick, But that calls from wanting to look at the things and not caring about being right. Because the ego, now, soul meet ego. The ego just needs to survive, right? And so many spiritual communities say, kill the ego. I even saw a page called Killing the Ego, and I wanted to vomit, because they kill the ego and they say positive thoughts. Does that sound rational to you at all? Does it sound realistic to you? Because the ego, when we understand what the ego is designed for and what the ego can really do for us, the ego can also thrive, but it could do the things in survival mode that can push us forward. So, for example, the ego can do things like for a performer. The ego's like, I feel good about my work, and so I can get out there on that stage and talk in front of 100 people or 1 million people or whatever the case is. The ego can help to push you because you want to thrive. So, thriving for the soul is the thriver. Thriving is the way the soul survives. So if the ego is doing its job and nurtured and you understand what the ego needs to survive. So it needs things like food, water, it needs to feel good and safe. It needs to, the ego also needs to feel like, it has a sensibility to itself. The ego needs to understand that it is appreciated. The ego also needs to understand that it's valuable and valid, right? All these things the ego needs. But when you nurture the ego too, and you give those things, you say, okay, but this is your job. Now I'm coming from my soul. Let's work in harmony, work in balance. The soul needs to express. The soul needs to be creative. The soul needs to be in tune. The soul needs to understand truth. That's what the soul needs. That's how the soul thrives. So when the ego is allowing itself to survive, and you're saying, okay, we're going to get this hit handled, and okay, don't worry about that someone said that bad thing to you. It's okay. Like, I understand where they're coming from. The ego's like, okay, cool. He was like, okay, so that's no longer a thing I have to look out to in defense of surviving. So when people talk crap about me or say bad things about me, the ego's like, you can take the burden off the ego, say, we don't have to worry about that. The soul's like, I see what they're doing. I'm psychic. I can see they're just hurt and painful. They're passing the pain. And the ego's like, okay, we won't focus on that any longer. So the ego can continue to push you, to motivate you, to drive you forward. And we can tell the ego, don't worry about other people's beliefs, that we need to defend ourselves of beliefs. What I feel is ever changing. And the soul's like, okay, we'll hold true to that too. The problem is when you all forget about your soul expression, you forget about your intuition, you let the ego run the show. That's where destruction happens. I'm not being intuitive. I'm not being creative. I'm not being expressive. I'm holding things back. So now the ego's got to like do the job for you. It's got to fight everything for you. Right? Oh, and I survive. Okay, I need more money. I got to take what I got to take from people to get what I need now. I got to trample on people to get what I need. That's the ego. It's on full force. It's the front man now. It doesn't know intuition. It doesn't know compassion. It doesn't know love. It just knows how to survive and just get what it needs. And so many people are just, the ego is their front man. Attention. I need attention. I'm not getting attention from the soul, so I gotta get attention from people. Look at me, look at me, look at me. Lying, manipulating. I need that attention. I need to feel good from people's attention. That's how I need to survive. So the ego is going to get it in all the wrong ways. Instead of saying, if I need attention, what's the better way of going about that? You go to the soul for the answer, baby. The soul will tell you how to get attention, self-love, self-appreciation, self-expression. Remember, the soul is the thriver. The ego is a survivor. We got to whip that ego in check and say, like, nurture. It's okay. We don't worry about this. Okay, it's okay. I got this. You do this for me. Get me to feel comfortable being in front of tons of people. I need that to survive my thriving, so to speak. Keep me firm on understanding that people's opinions of me mean nothing to me. Keep me firm on that. You keep that going, ego. You keep me being bold in my approach, ego, as I'm being expressive and creative. Boom, that's the harmony and balance. You know, yay, we got light again. So these are the things that we have to understand about the soul. These are the things that we have to understand about how the soul is actually intertwined with the ego. And, you know, when we understand that harmony, it's a beautiful mixture for confidence, self-love and compassion for love and for others. It's a beautiful harmony, a beautiful balanced experience, and life becomes magical in that sense. It's funny, so many times as a psychic medium, I spend so much time demystifying things for people. So much time I spend demystifying people as a psychic medium. I'm like, no, you're just thinking the wrong way. It's not that, not overly mystical. It's not this mystical healing thing. You just need to eat better. You're just not treating yourself kind with the nutrients. Like, and so when I use the word magic, understand, I mean magic. It's magical. And when you start being objective and unaffected, like I always say, and you see how things are connected, why things are happening the way they're happening, you have that 30,000 foot perspective. As Devin, I love that Devin, you know, I got Devin to say that 30,000 foot perspective. I always say the God perspective, but I like how she says that, Devin says that. That point of view, just like, people are just trying. People are just trying to figure it out. People are just trying to learn. Am I going to shame people for that, even if it's coming out ugly? Then you're free. Then the ego doesn't have to fight all the time. The ego, you can give the ego a rest and give the ego a rest. You can let the ego do the job it needs to do, that's intended to do. And that's what harmony is. And harmony within the self expresses harmony within other people and for other people. And again, that's a ripple effect that will spread like wildfire. So guys, it's time to start looking at things a little differently now. Okay? You know, if you're, and I've been saying this for the past couple weeks about consumption mode, if you only focus on what you're consuming, what you're getting, you're probably not going to be getting anything if you're focused on not getting things, because you're not putting anything out to create the cycle of ebb and flow. You put out, you get back. That's the ebb and flow of reality. You give, you take. You give, you take. So many, like I said before, most of the guys who are watching me are you're givers. You're too giving. You're too giving. You're too giving. And it's like, if you're giving, you're not leaving room to receiving. A lot of guys have to learn how to receive. That's an ebb and flow. And you're meeting too many people. And of course, you're going to align with, if you're just a giver, you're going to align with takers. That's what's going to happen. You don't want that. You don't want to be in that imbalanced, disharmonious cycle any longer. Let's keep it simple. Why don't give to me? They don't appreciate me. It's like, well, of course, why would they if you're the only one doing it? You just say, I'll do all the appreciation. I'll do all the work. I'll do all the emotional work. I'll do all the compassion. I'll do all the understanding. So what do you expect if you come with that attitude that you're going to take care of it all? You're going to meet someone who's going to want you to take care of it all. Why be surprised? Don't be surprised by that. Especially in a relationship, it's got to be you take care of and you also have to be taken care of too. It sounds so stupidly simple, but you'd be surprised that majority of people, and look at the divorce rate and how high they are, so many people don't even understand even the premise of a relationship supposed to be. Either people are focused too much on giving too much to that relationship, right? Because they have built-in morals of saying like, oh, just take care of everybody, to be selfless. Don't focus on you. No. Oh, what an idea about focusing on the self. Why would you want to do that, right? Some people have that built-in mechanism. So they feel responsible for everybody. So if you're responsible for everything for everybody else, you're going to attract and meet someone who's going to want you to be responsible for all their shit. Don't be surprised. So many people have built-in mechanisms that they have to consume and get. Me all the time too, right? There's that energy. Of course, they're going to attract you, the one that's going to give. And again, they're going to get what they want. And then when you pull the plug on those people and say, I'm not giving you anymore, they're going to blame you. Of course, let's be realistic about this. This is consistent in my clients for the past decade or so. This is consistent with people's challenges. Well, I feel guilty now. It's like, why are you feeling guilty for? You gave all that energy to this person. They took it all. You're carrying a boundary. Now you're worried that they're upset about it. What about you? What about who's concerned about you being upset or not, right? Who's concerned about your emotions? It's shown to you no one is. You're giving it all away. So we got to understand that ebb and flow of reality. Express, receive. Express, receive. It's a cycle. It's a beautiful cycle. I said this 2 weeks ago. That's the sexual intercourse. It's like in and out, ebb and flow. Sports, back and forth, in and out. Like it's just, that's a flow of life that brings balance. Ask yourselves this: what are your set of morals and beliefs? And are your sets of morals and belief coming from actually putting the ego to work for you, which is going to be in balance? Or are your morals and values and beliefs allowing your soul to be the driver of the show, creating more thriving energy? And are you consuming? So focused on what you're getting? Or are you giving too much? Which end of the spectrum are you? And find the balance. We're supposed to do both. We're all of it. Not just one aspect, we're both aspects. That will bring a lot of change. Okay? All right, so that concludes that. I know I have a lot of sessions go on, so I'm going to run a really quick commercial so I can take a little breather before I get into these readings. Here's a quick little commercial. Here's my commercial. Be right back.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruzpm.com to book your own personal session today.
Okay, how to put lower the air. And then my Nest app is like, oh, you need to sign in. I'm like, oh God, what is that password again? All right, let's get to these readings. And because we don't have a message from Nina today, it's just like, Nina gives me a little break too in between things. And it's like, now I just I gotta fucking breathe it in and breathe it out. Okay. Oi to the vey. Okay, so those of you who booked a video session, we have kind of a lot of them today. Please be by your PayPal, your Venmo, and this way, because I'm going to send you a link to call in to chime in to the session. So yeah, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. And understand, guys, we gotta keep it snappy, jazzy tonight. All right, is that all good? So let me get these headphones together and let me get this here. Y'all really doing the videos today, which is cool. Don't be surprised if I take a clip of ours and put it in my intro. Because some of my intro needs to be fixed, I would say. some old clips in there. I want to redo it. So, okay, so Kathleen, so Kate, for Kate is the question here. Please check your Venmo. I am sending you a link to call in, and I'm trying to do this, guys. Give me a moment. Like, look at this chord confusion here for these earpieces here. Ay. This is the energy I'm talking about, right? This is the discombobulated energy that we're talking about here. And I'm going to close down the sessions, guys, right now, the readings. So get them in. I'm going to close them down because there's already a lot of them. And just bear with me so I can get these things fixed. Give me 5 seconds here. Ay. Look at this. You guys hate these chords? You guys hate this? So let me read a question before I send this link out to you guys, all right? Because this is starting to irritate me. This freaking thing. So we got a question. Let me do a question. I'm not going to do a card pull right now. A question for Felicia Guzman says, yes or no question. When my husband and I went to Chicago for his job, was he trying to harm me? Does he feel sorry for it? When your husband and you went to Chicago for his job, was he trying to harm me? It's funny because I get a yes and a no. I get him being in a state of being that I think took over his rational thinking. So, and it feels like taking advantage energy in the moment. So I would say yes to that. Now, whether or not he is sorry for it, I don't think that your husband is the type of individual that really understands what sorrow is. I feel a little bit of a guilty energy about it because of being somewhat either exposed or, being called out for something in that nature. But it doesn't feel like so much sorry for it, but as guilt, right? Because I feel like he's a person to me that is, dismissive, steamrolls over things, So I would say yes. I feel yes to that, but like he was in a state of energy. Hallelujah! They're free. You need to be free, Felicia. State of energy of impulsiveness, and so. But again, sweeping it under the rug. So I wouldn't say necessarily sorry as it's kind of like shame. I don't want to think about it. Energy, So. Okay, so Kathleen Prentice, Kate, please check your Venmo, and this way you can get my link. Which again, guys, I'm so sorry. The tech right now is acting crazy. It's not allowing me to copy. There it goes. It did it. Thank you, Spirit. Hallelujah. All right, let's do these quickly. So, Crazy for Coconuts, Kate, check your Venmo. Click the link that I just respond to the transaction, and then you'll call in, and then we'll get you on. So for now, let me get some other readings while we're waiting on you. Because we have Stephanie's is another video, so we got to wait on that. James another video, we got to wait on that too. So any other things other than card pulls? I'm putting those last. Chelsea Manica, should I take the simulation fellowship at school? Would it help with the ultimate goal of matching into diagnostic rate? Yes, I think that, Chelsea. I think the connection to a simulation fellowship or that connection of that would be a great connection for resource, is what I feel. So that would be a yes. All right, Chelsea. Especially like it's a mentor, maybe that stems from that, or a mentor connected to that. I feel it can also help make connections too. So yeah, I would say that yes. That was an easy question. That was an easy yes. Okay, so we're waiting on you, Kate, to call in, to chime in. I'm going to also Stephanie Panaharada. You too. I'm going to send you a link. The tech today. So check your link as well, Stephanie. God, I hate Venmo. I mean, I don't hate it, but it's just like, it's so like not intuitive. You know, I have to do three clicks just to like get to a transaction to comment on a transaction. It's ridiculous. So this is what's taking me time here. So I apologize, guys. Here we go. All right, Stephanie, I sent you the link too. So whoever chimes in first, and if you guys chime in while I'm on a live, you just have to kind of be backstage right now. Same thing with James. Check yours. So we'll see who comes in first, James. So, God, this app is gross. Okay. All right. And then James, I also sent the link to you. So whoever calls in first, I'm taking first. So I'm putting that out there. And for now, just to kind of like multitask, I'll do a card pull for Sydney Aaron. All right. We got to multitask and get this going. I got to get these quick. And who's calling in first? Steph is calling in first, as I predicted. So let me just do this quick card pull for Sydney before we get to Stephanie. Close that down. And Stephanie's backstage. All right, shuffling. So guys, Kate or James, don't call in just yet because I want to just finish with this card pull and Stephanie. So when I'm done that, then chime in. Okay. What's the vibe? Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups. Interesting. You know, I'm going to show you kind of what the vibe is. I know the question is, what's the vibe? So you count the Queen of Cups, and then the World card in reverse right here, and the Knight of Cups. And look how they're kind of like, almost like the Knight and the Queen of Cups are like side by side in a sense, but turn their back on the World, right? So, but I feel like the World in reverse is representing you, and that, you know, you're in between, you know, a masculine and feminine energy that is kind of like turning you upside down, that you're not allowing yourself to navigate because of being influenced by the duality of the masculine and feminine energies in the life, right? And so it's almost like you have to stop being so codependent on the, I don't want to say codependent, because I'm going to say, I would say it this way. So many people are addicted to anxiety. They're addicted to anxiety. They don't know what it's like if they didn't have anxiety, right? So I feel like there's some sort of an addiction or codependency on feeling just misplaced or feeling in disarray, and that you're not allowing yourself to actually understand what not being in disarray is like. You're used to having disarray, you know? And so they're saying you're addicted to that. Stop that. You know what I mean? So so the vibe is like, stop being dependent on the anxiety, and understand like you need to embrace the fact of what it's like to just be clear aired, right? And that's something I think that you need to understand. And I think that you might feel like you're not being productive simply because maybe things aren't going bad or things aren't heavy. So subconsciously you might be seeking, you know, that energy unconsciously, because you're used to having that type of conflict around you, you know? So, and yeah, your ex might have addiction problems, but your continuation of dealing with those types of imbalances is something you've been subconsciously looking for or thriving for, instead of allowing yourself to have peace and quiet. Think about that. God, I hate these headphones. Oh my God, the tech today. All right, let's get Stephanie on now. Jesus. And let me mute this so I can hear. And these things don't even stay in. Why? These things are stupid. These things are ridiculous. I can't stand these things. Give me a moment. Ay. Can I hear you? Can you speak?
Can you hear me, baby?
Yes, give me a moment. All right, Sydney, thank you for that. Yes, okay. Hopefully it makes sense, and I hope you understand about the addiction as far as like, you know, having to be an intense energy. Make sure you can be addicted to having a different intense energy and being peace and quiet. So I just want to wrap that up. Okay. How's it going, Stephanie, my love?
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time as always. I even wrote
Well, you
everything
paid
down,
for
so
it.
we're gonna go quick.
No, but you paid for it, so of course. I mean, it's a give. It's a give.
I know, but I love talking to you all the time. So.
Oh, you're so sweet, my love.
You.
So
I love you.
I love
Okay,
you too. So, yeah.
Everything itemized. Tomorrow
Okay.
is the day that I'm supposed to hear back from Land Rover. I'm waiting to hear what my options are gonna be. What do you feel like?
Well, buy out. You can either buy it for yourself or turn it in, or.
But they are gonna give me.
What's that?
They're
Give you
gonna
what?
give me options. Yeah.
Yes, it benefits them for you to buy the lease, to take over the lease and buy it. That benefits them. They
No, 'cause
hope
they're
you would
trying to
do that.
Put me in a new one too, which I don't mind.
Of course.
But I'm like, look,
Of
this
course.
is the number that I need.
Yeah, of course, because then you'll lease a new one. It's the same thing. You're paying for the depreciation of the car when you lease it.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing. So they can make money on both. So, of course, they're going to want to urge you to put a new one. But if you want to buy out the one you have now, of course, they're going to let you do that. You have both options. Like I said, either to take over the car and to own the one you have now, or they're going to, like I said, put you another one. So you have both options.
Okay.
Depends on what you want.
Yeah, because my best friend was ready to let me use her car for a week. I'm like, yeah, I don't mind getting a rental until I get the car that I want. So, but
Why not?
I would like to keep mine because I love my truck.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do that. I feel like you totally buy it. Again, it really benefits them if they could actually have you buy what you've leased. So they're going to win both ends of the spectrum. And even now they're trying to give cars away, right now, so.
Yeah. Okay. The other thing, my team work, thank God, is going great. I'm now building my team. I am actually negotiating the second person in the team full time. The first one is part time. The second one full time. He's kind of fighting me on the splits, but I'm like, you have no GCI, you have no production, you have no experience, and I'm going to be investing in you. So how do you feel as far as the team building that I'm creating little by little? I think I'm going to end up with 3 to 4. I don't want any more than 4 agents. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fine. And you have to be very selective during this time. I mean, remember, this has all been predicted to you before. So I'm like, well, hello. And we know we talk, and I'm being playful. So to let you know, this has always been part of the reads that we've done last year. But no, I think this is you looking at what you need because of the imbalances you have with the other team that you worked for. This is you allowing yourself to kind of step up to the plate and say, I'm designating now what I know is going to good balance. I think 4 is good, but I think 3 feels better.
Okay.
What is the name of that gentleman that you were just talking about? His first name?
Gabriel. Just
Gabriel. He feels like dead weight to me for some reason, as far as production levels and as far as being, in the long term. He might become, he feels prissy or feels very entitled energy to me. So I think that he might in time just start demanding more or be complicated in time. Will it derail things? Not necessarily, but it depends on what you want to deal with and what you find valuable. But I feel like there's a laziness or entitled energy within him that could, be frustrating at times, unless you put it in check.
Should I even have him on? Because he's supposed to sign tomorrow.
I mean, it's not gonna be bad or good if you did or not, but I think at the same time, those are things I forecast that would be issues if you did. You make that decision intuitively. It's not gonna hurt you if you did, and it's not gonna hurt you if you didn't. You know what I mean? But I think that might be the fourth or one of the oddballs that don't feel like could be, in sync as much in time.
Then I have a Brazilian girl that's actually my kickboxing buddy, and she's kind of like my same energy.
Yeah, but all the others I feel that was the only one I felt maybe that might be a little problematic, Wow. But I think, I feel like if you hired him in time, he start off well, but then in time there might be some, So it depends. If you want 4 right now, maybe start, but you can also at some point then if things go down that route, then part ways at that point. It doesn't have to be.
I told him, I'm like, there will be a 3-month evaluation, and I'm not gonna allow you to coast me because you're gonna need to produce. I'm not gonna just give you my stuff.
Oh, so there already is production issues with him then.
No. He hasn't even arrived, but he has never produced.
Okay, gotcha.
Been in the business for 2 years.
Okay, yeah. See, I just feel like, again, there's going to be entitlement with him, and yeah, so that makes sense, because, no.
So
put him on
my
3-month
operations
evaluation.
Yeah, thank you, baby. My operations manager used to work for almost 10 years with a different team at the same compass. And the team lead, so there were some misunderstandings. She quit at 6 months ago. She left that team.
Okay.
It wasn't on a great note, but now, to make a long story short, that team lead is trying to block her name is Lady, from working with other teams at the brokerage.
Okay.
So now she's supposed to hear from him. She already sent him a message, and he's been completely ghosting her. Is he gonna try to block her, or is he, because he's all about good energy? You should see his social media. He's like karma, blah blah blah.
What did I tell you before? It's those people that are not doing it at all, right? It's those people, because you don't have to advertise something you are all the time, right? And so no, I just find, again, he just seems problematic to me. So even that's confirmatory of that, yeah.
That team lead, he's completely he's not. He's completely someone else.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if him ghosting that other agent, that it's just reflections made. He's being problematic. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not actually doing things effectively, efficiently, or with integrity. So he's going to bring that energy with you.
No. This is somebody else. My operations manager.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to block her blessings from working and growing with other teams.
So what's the question? I guess I'm misunderstanding the question on this one. Because you know all these people. I don't know like these people. So yeah.
No. Is that principal that she used to work for, my operations manager? Is that principal going to give her the green light so she can work with other teams, or is he actually going to try to block her blessings? Both. I mean, he's going to try to, and then eventually there's something that will lead her to be able to break away. But I feel like he's going to be very resistant to that at first. So,
you know what I'm saying? So it might take some time. It will take some time.
He's going to try to call him tomorrow.
It's going to take some time. He might be very resistant at first to let her go off, but these things aren't really predictable. Like, this isn't written in the stars. Like, these conversations isn't like in the stars. This person's going to say this. I just feel overall with that interaction that he will be resistant. He'll be a little, kind of like, I don't know about this, and might take her time to have to convince him to do so, is what I feel like on that.
When you say time, is it going to be a few months? Is it going to be?
I don't know. I can't predict that. That's not something written in the stars. How would I know? How would I know like how he's going to respond to it? I just know that he would be a little resistant to that. So let her figure that out. Let her deal with that. You focus on your team. Focus on the team that can be present right now. That you can't bring that stress, what she's going through, into your team. For now, you just can't. You just have to say that's her journey. We'll figure that out when that happens for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And otherwise, I just want to say thank you for everything, and hi to my mommy and sending her love. And I love my mommy so much.
I don't know, but she's showing me flowers, like violet flowers or something. She's showing me. I don't know why. Maybe you should lay some flowers for her or something.
Oh my God!
Do a memorial.
My orchids are purple.
Okay.
And they completely are dead, and I've been meaning to go. I haven't had time to go to Whole Foods.
So do it again. Get them again, but do it in honor of her, because I feel like she connects with those flowers too. So she's like she's trying to relay them or redo them. These purple, pink, whatever, lavender flowers. So
oh my God, I can't believe that. Oh my God, Scott, the flowers are right there. Like, how did you even know?
Well, what does this title say on my screen here? Psychic, medium, and mentor.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. You're so good. You're so good.
You're funny, but your mom. I think your mom, because I think your mom likes the flowers. You know what I'm saying, or connects with the flowers, and it's almost like I think that also will bring the energy up, in your space too, right? Because that's something. Remember, I told you a long time ago that she connects with like the purple color too, and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I bought the orchids purple.
Right. Okay. And purple lavender, because I also feel that she can use that energy to help to be with you presently right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, do that to like enhance your energy. I always tell people all the time, like, do things that spirit can cling on to in the physical sense to activate their spirit.
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm great. My health is great. Thank God.
Yes. And I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you about your team. Like where you're at is like, hell yeah, baby. But be a good boss, be a good team leader. Make sure you're getting what you need, right? And so, but I'm so happy that you're here. I knew it. Right, that you're gonna get here, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm proud, but also it's like, well, of course you're gonna be here. Duh, of course you evolved. Of course you're doing amazing. Duh, it's like you've done so well. You've been so focused. So congratulations, my love. I'm very, very, very happy.
I would have never been able able to done it without you. You have been there for me every step of the way, and you nailed
I appreciate it.
everything, every single thing. Listen, everyone, this guy is an angel on earth. You're a true angel on earth.
I appreciate that. Maybe I'll put you in my intro. I need some new intros.
No, you are. You're God
I appreciate
sent, and you're
I
always
appreciate
there
that.
for us through thick and thin, and we love you unconditionally. You
I
deserve
appreciate that. I appreciate that. And I want to say one thing too about that. It's like your concerns really concern me. Like, so like a lot of times people watch me like, how do you talk about people's relationships? It doesn't bug you. I'm like, no, because I'm concerned about their concerns. Like your concerns are just as important to me. Right. Because the whole thing is like, I want you guys to like thrive. Right. And so I'm concerned about you guys thriving because if you thrive, we all thrive. Right. So any concern is a gateway to thriving. So it's important to me. And I have people that come back like, I hate that I'm talking about the same issue. I'm like, your process is important to me. Like how people are processing, like getting over a relationship. Like that's important to me to go through that process. Cause so many people, as you know, babe, they don't have the support to talk to people or to reflect and bounce things off of, And so, I said at 15 years old, I said, I want to be the mentor for people that I didn't have. And so, it's a passion. So I appreciate you so much for saying that. And I'm proud of you, and we all love you too. You're always a great chat in the room, and so we love your energy. So
thank you, my love. You deserve the world. Thank you.
You do too. You do too. Thank you, my love.
Baby.
Have a beautiful night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Don't we love? And so that's Stephanie. As you always hear me say, Stephanie Panahar. Because I always say it's Penahadera, but I always kind of slow the R's. But James and Kate, you can call in now. Oh, Kate is joining. Here we go. Kate is here, actually. I don't have to take off my headphones, so let's add her on. Enter the show. Hi, Kate. You are on. Thanks for waiting. I think your audio is off. Yeah, the sound is.
I'm new at I've never done a live video call on Zoom, other than when I was in class for 2 years for my Ayurveda. But before I start, I think it's really important that you get Iggy on tonight if you have time.
Yeah, I'm going to see Iggy, go in the chat because maybe at the end, I'll have him come on and talk about this weekend.
And I met Iggy at one of David Palmer's events. And so he's a master, but pretty much from Friday to Sunday, quote from David Palmer, this is going to be the most extreme astrology that we ever experience in our life. And if Iggy gets on, he can talk more about it. So anyway.
Yeah. I mean, and I've been psychically, because I don't know the whole astrology lingo a lot, so I've been psychically telling people about it. It's like this energy is, so that's good.
I mean,
and Iggy was on Iggy was on last week. I don't know if you saw last week's show. He was on
I did,
last week.
And he toned it down because David's good. He's triggering to a lot of people, but he's spot on. He does the history of the planets, and I actually listened this week to his deep astrology twice. And it's like a beautiful symphony with the planets, and you can't make up that stuff. So Iggy can explain it, and don't hold back, Iggy.
Great. So what's your questions for me now? That's what you need to be mindful of the time.
I want to go on. I wanted to hone in and take care of the collective first.
Yeah.
But today is the anniversary of my little brother dying when he was 7 years old. And it's the first year that I felt not sad. So long story short, I was guided for some reason, I don't think anything is random, to go to Estes Park. And at first I was going to go and keep it really fun and light because the Stanley Hotel's there, and that's where Stephen King was inspired for The Shining. And I'm writing a book as well. So I guess my questions to start off with is, I'm doing this live reading and I don't really have an agenda other than I was called to do it. So is there any messages from my brother? I know he's been my guardian angel. So that would be my first.
Let me see. It's okay. he wants to go into the writing of the book, actually, because I mean, you mentioned that. I was trying to
Oh,
see. I'm like, can you see me go somewhere where she didn't tell me, because I wanted to say things that she didn't tell me. He's like, no, we got to talk about the book, and you got to talk about how he's got to be either inspiration for or channeled through the book or for the book. You know.
the book's almost done.
So, is there something that you could do to connect him with that somehow, or at
Well,
least you
he's
rely
in
on
the
him to? Oh, he's in the book.
well, he's in the book, and
Okay.
um, on my husband's birthday last year, he died, and it came through really clearly, and the
Okay.
book is amazing. So it's
So
about my
so
life.
so okay. So he basically did, because he was, seems to me, he's connecting with you, the book, and him, part of the book, and channeling with him. So I guess he's saying he's working with you through the book, but also wants to help you to disperse it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that
Help the book to
was
be.
that segued in to like, okay, so it's kind of answering the question, like, should I publish the book? It's been
Yes.
cathartic for my healing.
Sure, 100%. But the answer is yes. That's what he's trying to say, and why he wants to connect with that, like putting it out somehow, or like putting it away
Okay.
to where people can get their hands on it too, right? Because, and that could be that you make a digital copy, or you post it, or you take fragments of it and post it. Like he's really urging to say, sis, it's got to get out. Like he keeps saying, put it in people's hands, put it in
Yeah,
people's
it
hands, put it
does.
in people's hands, right? So it's not just a book. He's saying it's really kind of a piece of, he says a piece of magic. But and when he says a piece of when he sees piece of magic, because there's something within it that's going to be able to trigger things in people that can create healing for them,
Yeah.
right? So it's not just like you, because a lot of people who come to me who write books, I'm like, yeah, that book is just a book about your own, it's like basically your own diary, but that isn't this case here. You know,
Yeah.
so he's like, go with it, push it out, don't hold on to it, put it in the hands of people. He's saying in that regard.
Well, and I
And
believe
something
that.
something too, also with the month of May. So
It's my birthday.
okay, because he's also in May too. You might also get a nudge from him too about pushing that out, because it's the significance with May in you too. So if it's your birthday, that's great, but also the fact of May is a time where you do something new or something fresh, or you make a change. So I think this May is going to be very significant too in relation to the book as well.
Okay.
He's connected with an M name. I don't know if it's like a Marky or Marco or something. He's connected with an M name too in spirit. So I don't know
My
what the
mom
spirit.
is Mary Jane, and
Oh,
then
Mary Jane.
my
Okay.
daughter's Mary.
Okay. Are they in the living?
My mom is, but I've been living with her and for the
Let me.
winter
Okay.
season.
Okay. But let me see something here about this though, because the MR name I just kept coming into. He's like reaching out. Let me just see before you tell me anything. What he's trying to say about this. I feel like he's. I don't know whether he's trying to connect with your mom, the MA name, the Mar. I don't know if it's Mark or maybe it's Mary. Your mom's Mary. It makes sense. But I think he's been trying to connect with her somehow. Or maybe she's had dreams. He was in a dream that she had recently with him.
Yeah.
He's trying to connect with her.
Okay.
Your brother's funny because she's like lighting up, you know. So
Exactly.
But I also think that your mom has a lot to release and to purge, and there's a lot of even
Yeah.
grief with her being her her grandson passing, and so she's
It's her
helping a lot
son.
with this. Her son,
It's her
excuse me.
son.
Yeah, her son. So, well, that would make sense too. She's holding a lot of grief with that, you know, and
Yeah.
I think that's an issue for her, because he's been trying to connect with her to like lighten up to get past this. And so your mom is, I don't know if your mom's been a burden for you a lot, if your mom has been also weighing you down, but like your brother's saying, like, you really have to stop being the enabler of your mom in that sense. You have to
Well,
stop trying to caretake her.
Well, and I've stopped. And it's been detrimental because in my reading, you had mentioned that I create the serenity for people, and then it
Mm-hmm.
becomes addictive. And
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken my truth. I said I can't do I can't do your healing for you. You have
Try
to
it.
do it, and you have not released or grieved. He was killed in an accident, and my dad was driving, drinking, and
Yeah.
they never
Yeah.
stopped drinking.
Right,
So,
right. And but that's all karmic. And trust me, like if we
Yeah.
had time, if we had like a whole session's
No,
length,
we
I'd be
don't.
getting in depth, right? I'd be getting so in depth about all that stuff though. But I just want to hit home on the important message with him right now. And but I think he's trying to like interfere with mom, and in order to like pull away so she can release, and also can help release for you too. And not be such a
Yeah.
burden on you. So it's good to disconnect. He's trying to help. Your brother's very hands on. Like I'm just saying, he's very hands on.
Okay.
What happened in February? Is this something significant with February, or some sort of like anniversary, or some connection in February too?
Oh, February. The 17th has been, oh, that's my mom's, well, no, my mom's, oh, I know what it is. It was her dad's birthday, and then her brother Paul committed suicide last year.
So gotcha. So there's, because he was saying there's another like. I said anniversary, so maybe it's a death anniversary of that she's still heavy on with that too, right?
Yeah.
That's connecting with a
lot
lot
of
of this.
heaviness.
There's a lot of grief there, right? And he's saying like February is also a hard month for her. He's saying too,
Yeah.
and so she's had a lot to get past. So he's trying to infiltrate. And he's saying he's been trying to get through your mom's dream somehow, but she might be kind of resisting it or thinking she's wackadoo, But I would definitely bring up to mom about your brother being around in spirit.
And I have, and she was this close to booking a reading with you, and she resisted, and I
That's
spent
okay.
a
She's
lot
not
of
ready.
energy. She's not ready. Yeah.
And she's not ready. And here's the reason why a lot of people are not ready for this, my love, is because sometimes when people think about actually connecting with someone who's passed on, in their minds, it's confirming that they're dead. It's like, I'm not ready. It's
But
like,
she goes to other psychic. She went to a psychic medium in February. Not you, but this other gal.
well, obviously, yeah. Yeah, but that was the grief of losing her, her brother, like you said in February, is the heaviness that your brother's trying to emphasize for me, that February being a tough month, But I think that she might be attracted to people that might fluff it up for her a little bit and not hit home, and so I hit home, and that's probably she felt a little not ready.
She knows that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? And so, but you're doing well, and I think that your mom just has a lot of grief, and she's got to purge that. Like, and I don't think that and I don't mean that disrespectfully about you caretaking her and that being a burden. It's just fact,
I'm
and
done.
she needs to understand the fact that like she's got to be able to make it better for herself, to make it better for everybody else too. And I don't feel like it's malicious, of course. I don't know why your brother's showing me pearls for some reason. So he keeps showing me pearls. I don't know if your mom had some issue with pearls recently. So I just keep make a note of that. I don't think it's gonna make sense to you right now. He keeps showing her with like this significance of these pearls. Perhaps she maybe lost them, or some significance of like her mom and pearls. I don't know. Just ask her about the significance of these pearls.
Okay.
I don't think you'll know this right now. But anything you want to ask me before we close, that maybe but your brother's so hands on.
I'm glad, because I was like, there's some reason I needed, and the only other, two, but we can keep them quick. So I was adopted, and I was conceived in Estes Park, and my birth father, Jack, has been coming through, especially tonight. My daughter came in, and she's here too, and she's psychic. And is he alive? I don't need much, but is he alive or dead? My birth father, Jack? Because I'm thinking maybe
Jackson
that's what.
spirit. Jackson spirit.
Okay. All
Jackson
right.
spirit, but Jack feels also that there's some alcoholism there with Jack.
Oh, in spirit?
No, I'm saying he's in spirit now, but I feel like in the physical he might have dealt with drank too much, because I feel like he could have passed away of alcoholism. I actually see, oddly enough, it's just similar to your dad. I also feel there might have been an accident with Jack too. Maybe he was drunk driving. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's runs in the family. And then this you can answer quick. She didn't come up, so she's not infiltrating. She's on the porch. But my daughter Lydia wanted to know, do we have a shared mission together? And in what part of the world do you see the connection? And is it in the near future? And it doesn't have to be long, because
This might sound left field. I don't know why I heard South Africa for some reason. I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
So there might be a connection to South Africa somehow. I actually see you doing something different, like actually working with children.
Yeah,
Or
I am
even
working.
doing children, and I see like South Africa being kind of like a hub there for some reason. There might be
Okay.
other places, but I feel like this mother-daughter duo team is kind of raising the frequency when it comes to the earth, the planet, and those who are also in need in different ways. So it might
Okay.
sound traditional like that way, but it would be done in such a different way. Because at
What
the same
about
time,
animals and children? Because horses have been coming in too.
oh, but yeah, I mean, it's funny because the setting I saw South Africa, so animals around, so that would probably be spirit trying to say yes,
Oh yeah,
animals
you're right.
too. Yeah.
Elephants
Okay.
and rhinos and
Yeah. So maybe
And
they're trying
all-
to connect that. Yeah. The speed read is kind
Yeah.
of like they're just throwing it
Okay.
all in the picture for a speed read, but
okay.
absolutely.
I don't want to go off on another tangent because but she had come in and she's like, I got to go to the porch because he could feel my energy, and I said, I'll ask the question.
I know. I love her because remember she came through your own card pulls.
Oh
Sometimes.
yeah, and you were telling me I needed. Oh, by the way, she ended that relationship.
Good. All right, Lydia. Thank you. Good.
Yeah,
Look, Wheel
but
of Fortune for
she
her.
does. Her energy's big.
Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fortune for her. So that's a new change, new cycle. That's good. Also, the Ace of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. So there's some investments you and your daughter might actually get into too to bounce off that question. Ace of Pentacles is really huge on financial investments, financial rewards, and especially the King of or this is actually the Knight of Pentacles, which is practicality. You know, and be more practical about things and money. So it seems like you guys might even have a nice financial future together too. So.
All right, thank you,
All right.
Scott.
Good
and,
to see you, my love.
And it was really hard because I was like, I don't want to. I've been such a hermit. I'm like, you're gonna go on a live. You're not gonna do any more random pulls. So
I'm glad you did. It's good to finally see you face to face.
good
So
to see you and love you.
thank you, my love.
Thanks.
Love you too.
Bye.
See you. Have a wonderful
Bye.
night. Bye.
You too. Take care. Be
Bye-bye.
safe.
You too.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, James, you are next. So James, I think I sent James, did I send you the link to call in? Let me see here. There he is. Jamesy Wamesy. All right, cool. We're knocking these out of the park. Did I add James? We're knocking these out. Hey, brother. Can you hear me?
Hold on.
Oh, he needs his headphones.
Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're coming through. Am I coming through?
Yes. Okay.
You hear me now? I feel like that old Verizon commercial.
Turn the TV.
You hear me now? You hear me now? So what's going on, brother? What's your question? Where do you want me to tap in?
Well, last couple of weeks have been definitely challenging. I was on Astro Mingle with with Josh and Chris.
Oh, okay.
And,
Nice.
I had a bit of a reading and stuff, and it was quite illuminating. Did want to say thank you to everyone that's watching that came to support me. I greatly appreciate it all. I don't remember everybody that was there, but I know Iggy was there, Ali. So I just want to say thank you to you all. We got
a great like kind of tribe that kind of intermingles with other tribes. Isn't it great? I love it.
For sure. Yeah, and thank you for today's show because what you guys shared and everything. Because like I watched last week's show after somebody said, "Oh, did you see what happened?" And I was like, "Oh, whoa, what?" And I'm like, "Oh, everything you guys talked about, whenever." And I was like, "What is it scripted?" It's not. And I'm like, "No, the show's scripted. This topic is scripted. What happened was not. That was like authentic." And
yeah, I think people misunderstand scripted. We create an outline of bullet points. So like we come up with a theme and say, let's talk about this, but like everything we talk about, it's all free flow. You know, I hate scripted energy. So I always get crap like I'm going off the script, meaning the bullet point, the outline. I think people misunderstood that, but yeah.
But I was certainly grateful just because it was like, I was just like, I identify with Chris so much being a Taurus, how, just like, and like in the reading, he goes like, he's got plutonium under there. And I'm like, oh, okay. Now I understand why I explode like I do.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Yeah. And so I'm just like, guys, you guys are just misinterpretation.
Yeah, so, and the thing is, like, Christopher, that should have been a conversation that Christopher and I should have had privately, and I think Christopher was in a lot of stress that day, and and he also wants to he wants to be more transparent, more. He's taking clues on me about being edgy and being okay being edgy, and he wants to show people like he's human too. And and I think the more we have big goals, right, as people, and the bigger the goals, the bigger the frustrations, the bigger the stress, right? And so Christopher and I always talk, and we always express, and we're very forward to each other. So had that would have been a private conversation, there would have been none of that. But I think as it was aired, and I was concerned about the viewers, but we took care of all of that stuff. And I think people need to see that, yeah, passion can collide, and we're humans. I think people forget that spiritual leaders don't go through challenges too. We know how to navigate the challenges, but we still go through challenges too, and we'll help you navigate your own too. So I think it was a wonderful thing that happened, and especially us rectifying that this morning. I think Christopher before, do we need to tell people we're good? I'm like, yeah, we're always good, but I said, we should for those who are watching, because a lot of people had strong reactions. I mean, the messages, those Facebook posts about it, it was crazy. But I was very, very surprised at the amount of love I received, which is great, because I'm usually thinking someone's going to critique me or be mad I said something the wrong way, right? So it was nice to see. Maybe I need to experience all of that love. So I appreciate that from you guys. But yeah, we're good. It's all good. We're moving forward. So, but what can we talk about you? Where can I answer questions for you on?
Well, me being told in the reading, I was told I was supposed to publicly speak. So I'm again grateful for that fact, because I'm with my explosiveness. I love the analogy that he gave me of plutonium. That I'm knocking that into my vernacular. But I'm out there doing DoorDash for cash flow, and it's definitely been a blessing because it's giving me confidence, but it's also triggering a lot of I'm trying to use it to.
I'll jump in. I'll speak for you. I'll jump in. Because I remember the first time I read you, I said deliveries. You talk about jobs, say doing deliveries services. I thought it was FedEx or something, but doing deliveries. But I was saying to you, it's a way for you to be in free flow. You're on the road, but especially when doing deliveries, you're dealing with people. You're also dealing how to interact with people. You're dealing with how to also show up. You're being timely. So there's a lot to learn from this. Right. And there's a lot of efficiency you're learning through this process too. It's also your time management skills. You're not having to work a 9 to 5 and go to the clock. You're able to kind of go and do as you please. It's teaching about that independence, but it's also teaching you about here's independence, but here's independence with structure. Because you got to be on time for delivery. You got to deliver. So it's a lot of the psychological things that's helping you to understand, right? But also you got to do it for yourself to make money. So it's so layered in things that's really helping you to evolve that you might not be aware of. And so especially when you're dealing with people and you have to deal with the people to pick up the food and drop the food off and all that stuff, it's teaching communication skills. It's teaching you to be more confident in how you can interact with people, so that you don't know. Go ahead. You want to say?
Yeah, it's just, I know it's definitely it's giving me confidence to do all that stuff, and it's forcing the interaction because
right.
COVID and the protection of the bubble that my mother gave me, and I definitely hope I didn't come off too much in this other show, but it's we enmeshed, and she, as much as I was providing for her and caregiving stuff,
right.
she was providing for me in other areas. And I was in a bubble that I had no idea how protected I was. But in going out and interacting, it's I have no way to I have no way to differentiate myself, and it's frustrating the shit out of me.
Well, what do you mean by that? No way of differentiating yourself. Elaborate on that just a little bit more.
Okay, well, there's I take pride in my work. I've always had the attitude of, if you're going to do it right and do it to the best of your ability, or just, I bother walking out the door.
Right.
And so, it's I've got a heated cooler, powered heated cooler. So
I do that too.
Delivered warm.
Love it.
And I've got a thermal bag, and, I always pick it up that way. And yeah, there's no way for me to say, just to differentiate myself from somebody to say, here, I did this much work extra, just to say, hey, as a thank you. So yeah, it definitely, I get triggered when somebody thinks that the service fee that they tack on for the food delivery is enough to maintain everything as far as,
Tip is concerned.
all that stuff. What's that?
Do you think because they pay a service fee, they don't need to tip you, that type of thing too?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just real world stuff. I mean, I don't think that you necessarily having issue differentiating yourself from that. I think you're just allowing yourself to experience the goods and the bads, reality, structure of such, right? And that, no one's gonna ever be happy. I'll tell you this, no one's gonna be completely happy. When you perfect what you're doing, you found your niche and your voice, then you'll find people who are always happy with that too. But there's a process to that. Like I said, it's educating you on finding that modality that you're getting out of the bubble of things are safe and calm and peace, but that you're starting to recognize in a very simple way, in an easy way. Yeah, people are going to be unhappy. People are going to bitch and complain. People are not going to be very considering accommodating, but you are, and you always will be, because that's integrity. So that's how you're differentiating yourself from people. You come with integrity. I would do the same thing. Like, I would have everything set up for people, and there's people who are going to love that, and there's people who are not going to appreciate that at all. But that doesn't mean you change yourself. That's actually the big differential factor of that, is showing how different you are to other people. And so for me, it's actually bringing that contrast to you more so. But what I'm going to tell you is you get to understand the psychology of how to deal with people, because when you speak and you're becoming, in that modality, when you get to talk to people and become people, you'll understand the different aspects of personality, the different aspects of psychology, but also understand how to maneuver around different personality types. You are actually doing the opposite of what you think. You really are differentiating yourself from those other people by doing what you're doing, actually, because you're forced to deal with different personalities, different responses. You're forced to that, right? So to me, that's what's really a huge development, to show you more of who you really are. Not many people that I know that deliver have that courtesy and care. I tend to attract all the courteous drivers. I don't know why. Maybe because I pre-tip. I don't know, but they're always courteous, and so you'll start recognizing how this is really shaping your character. It's giving you confidence. It's giving you an essence of understanding how to perceive things and not being so affected by it, right? And that's really going to help you to move forward. So it's not just a jobby job. It's actually really refining your character based on what you've come from and how you've been a little bit in isolation. You know what I'm saying? Because even though you're connected with a lot of people, there's still, I'm in my own car though. I don't have to really ride with them. So there's still that boundary. But to me, I think it's bringing great balance for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it definitely, because it in doing it, forced a lot of the, not forced, it allowed a lot of the work I'd been doing and other things to show up, because I'm walking in and I go, people are like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, usually first thing out of my mouth is, hey, how are you doing? And people are like, usually they're, what? What'd you say? I'm like, how's your day going? And they're like, oh, it's nice. And I'm saying thank you, and this is from something else, from other work that I'm doing, but I couldn't recognize that because I sat at home, and in my grief and everything, going out was just a challenge.
And that's okay. Look, and every human has those periods. So you're not, and again, maybe don't differentiate yourself because of that process of being in hibernation, because we've all done it, right? We all have it. And so I think you're very personable. I think you're very personable. I don't think you realize how personable you really are. It oozes from you. What's that?
Apparently, what Josh says, I'm very magnetic in what he said. I'm some sort of 15 or something. I don't know numerology for anything, so
I'll talk in psychic lingo. I think you're charismatic and you're very personable. Yeah.
If there was something I guess I could ask is what, because the two things that reading did and what I'm trying to do in with the DoorDash stuff is, one, I'm just trying to increase
your revenue
ability. No, not necessarily revenue. Obviously, yes.
Yes.
But in the sense of intuitive abilities, asking myself, because there's been times where it's like I'm driving and I'm like, turn right. And I'm like, wait, but the map says go this way. And then what ends up happening is, I'll end up parking.
Right.
And I'm
right where it is.
What kind of, just trust that more, or just
duh? Yes, of course. And, yes. And look, what could go wrong? Because the thing is, it always goes right when you follow it. And so like I remember when I was like very young and always like having these intuitive pulses, and I wouldn't follow it, and I was always kicking myself on the ass, right? And it was teaching me, it's like, okay, now I'm just going to consider it and see what happens. And I'm like, yeah, it's never wrong. It's never wrong, so yeah.
Okay, how do I phrase this? Like, what did you kind of do? Like,
I forced myself to, after being after being wrong for so many times, it was rational to me. It's like, if my intuition says something and it's always right and I'm not following it, now it's time to follow it. I was just being rational about it. But you have to be rational and say to yourself, what could go wrong if I just trust my intuition? Right? Nothing could go wrong, especially if it's like parking things. It's nothing's going to really go wrong. So it's really just allowing yourself to push yourself to practice it. It's not, I would say don't overly mystify even that, because the ability itself is what's mystical. We don't have to overly mystify the process of doing it. Right? So it's just saying to yourself, I'm trusting it now. I'm going to follow it. Okay, cool. And I'm going to look and differentiate between my thought versus a feeling, which is intuition. I'm going to start looking at the two differences. And when you do, you start recognizing the different parts of self, and you'll bank on the intuition all the time because you start recognizing. So you want to test it. You definitely want to test it.
Now, one of my, because I see it, and I know you have a grasp on this really well, is just, and I don't mean to say this in the way, so don't take the terminology.
You're fine. I can read you. You're good.
But you're just very good at of acknowledging yourself, and just say like loving yourself and like self-love, because that's like, I'm going through the 40 days of past lives in karma with Serious Joy, and that's like everything. That's what Chris said on the reading. It's like, dude, this is everything. So it's like, once you learn that, I always thought I wore my heart on my sleeve. I thought I was always exposed, that I just was like,
you were. You were, but life changed it, and you went within, and you went in isolation, and that creates some fear and trepidation. So now you're relearning it. You're relearning it now. What's that?
I don't know when that happened, and I'm challenged.
Life happened, though, James. Life happened. You had that. You've been disappointed. There's been a lot of disappointments. There's been a lot of loss and grief. That changed things, right? And that's fine. That happens. And so, like, I would say, wearing your heart on your sleeve is like, yeah, but there better be an iron cast around the heart on your sleeve, right? You better still need to protect that. So you're learning protection and boundaries with that. And like I've been saying all the time, is like, you can't be all outbox either. And so you got to start saying, okay, well, who's showing up for me now? Who's actually going to show me the appreciation and the consideration, right? So I think the wearing heart on the sleeve analogy is a bad analogy to use, because it's saying like, I just give away at all times. Like, you don't want to do that. Keep your heart where it's at, and understand who can come in and receive it and who can't, and who is valuable enough for you to express and who isn't. It's just setting the proper boundaries. You're maturing on that factor right now. Right? So life just happened. And I think that's just maturing your aspect of where your empathy needs to be expressed and how to really kind of navigate with that in life. And so I think you're doing all the above with that. So you just need to say, understand, you need to push yourself into consideration of intuition. Say, I'm going to be very curious about my intuition. I'm going to honor that. I'm very curious to see the differences, and push yourself, just to experiment and test it out. And then you'll get yourself to a position where you wouldn't have to be so consciously aware of that, right? It'll just be a default within you. But it's like working out. You got to, flex the muscle a little bit. You got to teach the muscle what to do. And then you're like, oh yeah, now it's a piece of cake. Same thing with intuition. We got to flex the muscle and be conscious of flexing the muscle. Then it becomes default within us.
How did you figure out those boundaries? Was it just time and whatnot, or did you?
Life. Kicking myself in the ass because of not listening to my intuition, right? People taking advantage of me, right? People dumping their shit on me. Right, for their own reasons and their own shit, because I was trying to accommodate too much and wanted to help so much. And people blame me for their own decisions, right? All that stuff in life, right? And so you don't have to go through all that stuff. You've been through some stuff like that, but just look at it rationally. Why should I give to people everything or accommodate people too much? And why should I, not trust my own intuitive impulses? Ask yourselves those questions. You'll be like, yeah, well, why shouldn't I? Again, keep it rational. The only thing that's preventing you, that's blocking you from the soul from truly expressing, is the brain, is faulty logic. Because the spirit's like, I'm expressing myself. Soul's like, I'm expressive. I want to do everything. I'm intuitive. The soul's like that confident. But the brain and the limitations of the mind is what blocks you. So we have to tackle the brain to remove the filters and blocks and in sync the soul with the brain. This way, you're a full person. You're soul focused, you're intuitive focused first, and then you get to like use your brain to logically express it in physical reality and to differentiate things of such nature, right? So you're working on that now. You're in process of that now. So it's not like you have to like figure anything else out now. Keep going through your process, James, and stop beating yourself up. That's what you need to do.
I want it faster.
But you are, but you still, you have it, you're looking at it, you're observing it, you're studying it. So you're in study mode. In order to become a master, you have to go through the process of mastering. So you're in the process of mastering it. Okay.
I just like, I don't know. I think it's just.
James, enjoy the process. Enjoy the let me tell you something. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the process. Don't rush it, because I tried rushing the process and I took too much time. Enjoy this process. Enjoy it, and you will be able to grasp it. And when you grasp the process, James, you'll grasp the intuition. It'll be in your fingertips.
How did you separate yourself from feeling like you got to sprint? Because you like what you just said was like,
because I got exhaustive sprinting, because every time I sprinted, it led me nowhere.
Yeah, it
led me nowhere.
Apparently that plutonium that's underneath is fueling me, that I just keep running I'm like running into the wall, and I just get up, and then I get up and I run into the wall, and I'm like, but
the thing is, you have to understand what to do with that energy, though. You have to redirect that energy, right? So the energy doesn't mean you just go forward march. The energy means you need to be more expressive. So that energy within you, it's like you're thinking, I have this energy, let me run with the energy. It's like, no, we got to do something with the energy to express the energy. You realize you don't have to sprint at all. You've heard this cliche thing, it's all within us, it's all within us. You're trying to sprint to get somewhere. It's like, no. That's what you're failing at in yourself. It's like you're taking this energy you already have and say, I can express this daily. Oh, I don't need to sprint. I'm in it now. That's the realization shift.
I'm sprinting and I'm literally running away from myself.
You think you have to get somewhere to accomplish something. You're not realizing that you're good now. You're not realizing you have the abilities now. You're not realizing you have the expressions now. You don't realize that you're actually being taught now. You don't realize you're mastering it now. That's the problem. You're disassociating yourself with the present. And then the present's where all the future stuff really is. That's why I say, like, embrace this process of learning the intuition. Embrace the process that you're taking your intuition, you're studying it right now. Like, okay, what is this aspect? That's to be fun. It was so much fun when I missed, that's why I'm always trying to evolve my craft in different ways. I missed when I was studying my mystical abilities. It was fun diving in and exploring. Now I've mastered that. I'm like, what's next? It's now, of course, expressing it and using it for people. So that's why I keep wanting to evolve my work, because I want to keep expanding that. Enjoy the studying phase, James. And allow yourself to embrace, I'm in the studying phase. That's progression. That's when you really sprint. That's when you start feeling the movement. That's where you start feeling the progression. You're just being hard on yourself.
Gotta figure out how people do this and like learn about themselves, take care of themselves, and do everything. Because I'm literally doing the 40 days. I'm going, how do people do this with a full-time job? Because I'm barely doing it, and I'm this. I
know, but don't overburden yourself with this. It's really just understanding how you feel every day and acknowledging your feelings and expressing them. That's what you have to really. That's really what self-love is. How do I feel? I'm considering my feelings. I'm considering my wants. I'm considering how I need to express, and I'm regulating my imbalances. That's all. Very simple. We could package it with different programs. We could package it with different, quotes and cliches. We could package it with so many different processes. But at the end of the day, what it's teaching you is to consider your feelings and intuition and express it. That's it. Simple. And just practicing that every day. That's all it is. We do all these packages so people can have something to like turn it into. It's like, but really at the end of the day, we're all trying to get you to do the same thing. Listen to your intuition. Practice it, being comfortable with your feelings and so forth, So that's what I want you to really understand. Simplify the fuck out of that and understand the learning of this stuff is fun. I miss it. I miss the hauntings. I miss the things moving in my house. I miss all that. But I'm like, I've evolved from it, but it taught me that it was really fun. So have fun with this, James. You're not trying to get anywhere. You're trying to go in. You're trying to go inward. That's not a progression. That's not a sprint. That's being present. All right?
Yeah, it's like mom came to visit me in a dream, but all I did was wake up and miss her. And so my whole day was, that day sucked because I just couldn't, I couldn't, and she was just like, I even got a message from a friend.
Well, but allow yourself to grieve. That's okay. Grief is a natural process. Allow yourself to grieve.
My life, I'm like, I don't want her to come to say hi. I'm proud of you, which is what she was trying to do. And
right.
I'm just you know.
Well, look, you have to allow yourself to grieve, but then also understand the other tail end of that spectrum too, right? Grief is a normal human emotion. This is recent, still fresh, James. It's not like it's been 10 years, 5 years. It's fresh. It's been like, what, a couple years now? It hasn't been really that much time, you know, so it's fresh for you. So give yeah, exactly. So 1.5 years. So, you know, give yourself grace, dude. Like, I'm mourning. Yeah, I miss her. I really do. And understand the missing is the heart saying, I love you. I love you. I love what you did. I appreciate you. So just get out of the missing and turn it around and say, I'm missing you because I love you. And then evolve it into love, and she'll come more. And like, Mom, I love you. Thank you. You could grieve, but don't stay stuck in the grief. Say, I'm grieving, but Mom, I love you. Thank you. Just turn it. Yeah. You're beating yourself up way too much. You're trying to think that the grief is going to go away. It's like the grief will be there until you convert it into and consistently express the love energy to where you're connecting with the experience now instead of the grief. It remains in disconnection. But at the same time, it's the love that's trying to peek through that grief. So understand what that is. Grieve and say, I miss you, Mom, but I love you and thank you for the message. Watch what happens. You know, you'll start recognizing you're releasing tears because of love. That the tears that you're expressing is because it's tears of love and that joy energy, not that because she's not present in the physical world, because you know you're connected with her. Yeah. We got to go because of time. There's other people waiting, right? I love you, brother. And I think you're fucking amazing. But we need to spend more time together. Okay. We have to spend more time together.
I'm putting some money together. I want to ask, would it be better to do a past life reading or intuition builder? We'll do all the above, but contact me and let me give you a break on the money stuff. Okay. Don't worry about the money stuff. Just reach out to me. You know, I'll give you a break on that because I know where you're at. I don't need to suck money from you, but we need to spend more time together. So reach out to me before, like we did last time. And I told you I'd work with you, you know, so don't worry about the costs on it. All right. Okay. Scott. I know. People call me Chris all the time. Don't worry about it. I'm grateful for all of you, and you guys go through my head so much that it's like who knows what the connection is beyond, because
that's what love really is, my friend. And we see that within you, and we appreciate that, and we want to pull it out of you. You know, you got my email address, James. So reach out to me. Don't worry about the costs and finances. That's nonsense. Okay. Love you, brother. Have a good night. Talk soon, okay?
Watching too.
All right. Ciao.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Isn't James awesome? We all can see the spark in someone. We're like, we want to show you. And I hope, James, you watch this back so you can see your spark too. And if you've been on the other show, I didn't know you were on Namaste today. Watch back. Don't critique yourself, but look at the heart of yourself, James, when you watch yourself back. Say, let me see the heart in me. I can see I'm critiquing myself or what I'm doing and whatever, but look beyond and see what is your heart expressing. Look at that essence. Force yourself to analyze that. All right. I'm sorry. I love to be on longer with you guys and out of my heart, but I have to, rush with other people, of course. And Jai, we have you doing a video too. Let me give you a, okay, Jai says, want to get your read on energy around the main investment, the satellite company, Space Mobile. Do you see success or delay with the current strategy they outlined? Overall good or bad? Also going to date tomorrow. Name is Ariel, energy read. Okay. Let's see. It's funny. I said in the beginning, I wanted some new video reads for the beginning, to throw you all in there to feature in the intro of mine, and then y'all delivered. You came out with the reading, so and I think Stephanie gave me a wonderful soundbite. which is good for my promotion. So I love Stephanie. So thank you for giving me that. Oh, wait, Jai. Yeah, look, the satellite company is new to me, right? So if long-term it feels like it's a great investment, there's going to be glitches. So I feel like right now they're restructuring. I feel like now they're really trying to find the modality with the economy. So I feel like they're reworking things out. Don't be fearful about this. So don't lose hope in that because of that. This is part of actual, actual strategizing, right? So I see delay and successes. There might be some delays to reconfigure certain things, make certain connections, but the success always feels there for me in time. You got people who are very keen on what they're doing, which I always felt that with this company. So yeah, and there'll be some changes, some delays. That's normal. I expect that, but don't think it's like, things are going bad, right? Look at you with all these dates again with Ariel. Yeah, I think Ariel feels like a good energy to me, sometimes I hate to predict the future because I just want people to experience things without knowing the future. Like I don't want to give you everything without enjoying it. So let me give you advice on this about this energy. She feels like she'd be very quiet. I feel like she's very kind of like maybe internalized a little bit or reserved in a sense. Don't take that as a sense of like you having to overcompensate or that she's not interested. Because I feel like she's kind of reserved a little bit. She'll smile, she feels like a sweeter soul to me, not just because of the name, but she feels like a sweeter soul. So yeah, I really feel that the energy feels good to me. But, you might need to like pep her up a little bit, but enjoy this, enjoy that. But the energy feels a lot different than 3 ones ago, so, but she feels more sensitive, a little more kind of needing someone in her life in that way. So just be careful about that energy. And, but I think you might find it to be like a sweet energy with her, Let me see this. Makes sense. Okay. They are, planning 20 satellite deployments this year. They're wondering if delayed, but hit it. Like there might be some time to restructure it, but they'll hit it. Yeah, dude, this company to me is like, I'm not even worried about this company. This company seems, I just always, every time you ask about this company, there's always a good energy about it. Good feeling like they're going to get it done, So there might be delays, but at the same time, that'll happen for them too. And just enjoy your date tomorrow. She feels sweet. She feels like a little reserved. But understand how to be charming and, to soften tone for her and all will go well. All right. You're doing well. Jai, you're doing well. You're doing very good. And I would own that. Okay, who did I miss here with card pulls? Okay, Sophia card pull. The card pulls are quick, guys. They're just like really simple. Bada bing, bada boom. They're not reads. Good for you, and Jai. Good for you, sweetheart. Sweetheart. I'm gay. You're not. You're talking about women. I'm calling you sweetheart. Because I used to talk to more females, clearly. But brother, you're doing well, and congratulations for like putting yourself out there still and going on dates. I mean, good for you. I am proud of you in that sense. I don't mean to be condescending, like I'm, here and you're there. Proud is like, I'm proud to, that you're doing what you're doing. So I wish there was another word for that, because proud feels like someone saying to someone beneath you, please don't take it that way. I don't mean that in that way at all, but I'm very proud of what you're doing and very excited that you're actually putting yourself out there. You're moving. Good for you. And dating is a trial and error. We all go through that process. And a lot of times we can't bypass the process of dating and exploring and understanding different personalities. Those are things we have to experience in life. So, let's not overly mystify that either. So you're doing it. I'm proud of you. I'm glad that you're doing this, and you're keep moving forward. Awesome. Seriously. Okay, Sophia, you need some movement going on as far as like you need a trip. You need some travel, Sophia. All right, this is my traveling card. So maybe taking a trip overseas, booking a vacation. If you did one, you need one. If you didn't, go get one, right? So they're saying they need some movement of getting out of your space and your element. And I feel like that type of move, if there actually is a projection of a move at some point that comes about this year, or you actually also need to take vacay, I think that'd be very well for you to get on this aspect aspect of looking at taking a trip or vacay. If you haven't already, if you did, good job. Go on it. It's going to really help your energy to shift out of this past energy, releasing energy from the past. So I feel like it's good movement. So this isn't just about traveling too. It's all about movement and embarking on newer territory in a sense. So I feel like there's also emotional read too that you're doing so. So I feel like a lot of good movement in a positive direction when it comes to emotional releases and doing what's best for you and moving forward in a sense of getting out of your comfort zone and doing things that are more fun. So that's good. See, that's how I should do my card pulls. I finally mastered simplicity for a card pull because sometimes I go too long on them. But yeah, that's a perfectly demonstration, y'all, about how I should be doing my card pulls. So, okay. Dominique Atkins card pull. That's what we're doing for that. Trent Briggs Verify says, what's you thinking about, Trent? What's your thought processes? Then, something beyond that you can express? All right, this is for Janelle Steib. I gotta interpret this too. A lot of what's coming up here is like a financial movement. I would say for Dominique. I don't know if you're coming out of a phase of financial woes or financial stress, financial burdens in a sense. But I feel there's movement this year to kind of reverse that perspective, to reverse that energy, to take that modality of financial burden and somehow changing that to where things go more balanced, because I feel like you'll be more productive with your career, your work, whatever you're doing. And I also feel like assistance from people around you too, that will help to, get you out of whatever slump that you've been in, financially or whatever burdens. I feel assistance coming to help relief of a lot of that. So, a lot of this has to do with, becoming more focused on yourself and what's important to you. So, the Chariot card is really much all about like royal regal movement and things. And, the poverty card came in, in reverse means you're getting out of that state of poverty. So it could be just even a mentality. But making sure you're not going beyond and helping other people with that aspect too when things become better for you. So it seems a lot in the financial aspect, but not even just financially, but just at the state of lack. Me not having enough resource, maybe you haven't felt you had enough support. That kind of flipping on its head in that sense. And the Star card is also talking about being the center of focus, kind of like being appreciated, people revering you, right, and put you on a pedestal in that sense. So there's a lot of that as well. So a lot of change, I would say, in that regard. So it felt financial to me, where there's been some financial changes and shifts in favor and kind of pulling out of this energy of not having enough in a sense. So a lot of change with that too. So it could be maybe a promotion or a new job, a new opportunity, or even just support from family. Whatever the case is, I feel that support continuing. So moving on to that, who we have? We have Abby and Sarah. I'm going to send you a link, Sarah. So if you buy your Venmo, chime into that, because I'm gonna give you that link. And remember, these videos got to be like easy breezy because of time. So click on that link, Sarah, in your Venmo, and we'll get you on. Uno mas. Let me check my PayPal too, because I know people probably did that too, and then we'll conclude. And yeah, so Nina, can you announce too that the readings are closed? Can you announce that for me, please? I appreciate that. Okay, un momento. Just waiting for Sarah to call, and then we have a card pull for Abby Co. Abby Co. Work has been a burden where load is all on me. Yeah, I feel like that flipping. I feel like you getting more of the more support, right? Or change or shifts. So where either, again, like I said, promotion or something where you become accommodated, right? That support coming to you, which will also help you financially. So I feel a shift in that, so that's good. Yes, Chelsea, I answered the question, and the answer is yes, Chelsea. I already answered it. I said, yes, feels like good opportunity to do that positioning and also a way to make new connections. Chelsea, so yeah, I already did that. So I remember it. So I'm like, yeah, it feels like a good opportunity to branch off. I feel a male energy or a mentor that can help you make those connections in that space. So yes, I think it would be a good thing. That's the simulation thing I think you said, right? Yeah. Okay, a question while waiting for Sarah to chime in. Hi, Scott. My stress through the roof due to legal matters. I feel like I'm not understood. Even my good intentions. Tomorrow I'm going to the state tax office to amend a prior return and recoup money I should not have paid them. What's my best approach to being successful? Thanks to Love Horse. Okay. Yeah, that's okay, love. I trust me. I'm sure it's boring waiting for everybody, hearing everybody else's stuff. I get it. It's all good, babe. I feel like not understood in my intentions. Tomorrow I'm going to say no. What's my best approach to being successful? This is a general question. C. I'll call you C, Henry. You can see Henry C. Karma, I guess we can call you that. I think you're already doing that. I hate to sound so simplistic on it, but I think you're already doing it. I think you're already reaching towards success. The avenue of working with horses is your avenue. You already know that, you're standing up for this legal matter you just mentioned that's going in your favor. So honestly, the simple answer is keep doing what you're doing. You're finding that success, and success is a very broad term, right? Success means like, are you successful in the work? Are you successful in relationships? Are you successful standing up for yourself, right? You're successful in the sense of doing what you love. That's what success is for me. You do what you love, despite what other idiots say, right? You're doing whatever the case is. And so to me, like, that's success. And I think you're doing that. You're in that direction already. And I think a lot of it's standing up for you and standing up what is correct and right for you. So you're in that process. Now, I think you want to understand that, you might be defining physical success in a way that might be disconnecting you from the emotional, intuitive, and spiritual success that's preventing you from actually experiencing the physical success. Make sure you're not doing that. Make sure you're not putting too many parameters of, the physical success has got to look like this. Meanwhile, you're already in gear and in process and on the way of that building and evolving. So for me, it's understanding you're doing that already. You already have that perspective, and to continue with it. And disassociate the fact that if the physical parameters haven't manifested a certain way, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not going to do it or you're doing something wrong now. It just means you're evolving, you're building that. And I feel like you're right on track with that. So success is just doing what you feel and honoring that, really. The formula is fucking simple. People overly mystify that crap, which is why people don't believe in psychics. Why people, look at other psychics and look at mysticism as being, oh yeah, that doesn't work, because no one's being rational about it or reasonable about it, and so forget about people who can't think outside the box enough to think that there's just any form of spirituality. Their minds are so limited and in a box. You think that being mystical is going to get them out of that box? No, you got to rationalize it. So with you're keeping it simple. So, and you're letting yourself get outside your own box in a sense. So keep doing that. And you already are on your way to that success. So that's great. We have two more. We have one for Angie, a card pull for Angie Russell, and we're going to take this with Sarah. And then we have, I think, Abby Co. will be the last two. And then we are fiend dumb. I am exhausted. So what are we on now? We're going like over 2 hours right now. So, okay, let's go with, Mrs. Sarah. Are you Sarah? Ooh, look at that pretty horse. Sarah, you were on. Wow, look at that beauty. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? The timing. We were just talking to horses trigger hope, and now we have you with your horse, braiding your horse. Look at that. It's amazing. Look at that.
There you go.
Michaela, my moon and rising. Oh, really quickly. Michaela, my Aquarius, Virgo rising, and Gemini moon. All right. So Sarah, what do you want to say?
I wanted to just show up and put my money where my mouth is and give Scotto some support.
You're awesome. You're so sweet. It's funny. I've been getting a lot of support this past couple weeks, and I'm not used to that. So I appreciate it. What's that?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I just wanted to check in, and it's been a little quiet in my life, which has been nice.
Yeah.
Just working a lot and coming to better understanding of my communication with spirit, like my direct communication with hearing back what I need to do in the moment, kind of being more synced up,
Right.
and experiencing things in my life that I get excited about, like what James is talking about, where I'd like to race forward, but kind of recognizing the moment to just pause and be like, I'm loyal first to spirit.
Right.
Just wanted to check in on that. And
Yeah, I think right now, like, like doing like, I guess like a checkup, right? I think it's do kind of a checkup. Is that, I think you're getting that. Like what you just said, you're getting it, right? But I feel like a lot of times too, it's I don't want to be overly general about this either, because I feel like you're making good progress, and I just don't want to be simple saying, oh, you're doing great and move on. But I also want to be descriptive, right? But I think that you are learning right now what being present means, not the cliche spiritual shit of being, be present, right? You're understanding what it means to be present right now, which means that's where all that information, that wisdom is, right? That's where all the direction is. That's where all the enjoyment is, right? And so I think you are understanding what that really means right now versus what other people have been saying what it means, right? In the fluffy duffy spiritual communities. So I think that's a huge thing. And so in order to really embrace that too, like you're going to have to marinate in it. Right? Hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be a phase, love, right now where, yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me? Okay. So there's going to be a phase with you where you're going to have a process where you sit in the present and you understand what it's like to sit in that present modality and what that really means. So that's where you're in right now. Right. And I think that's a great thing to master. When I mastered that, like then I don't really feel like there is anywhere else I need to be. I'm always going, I'm always moving, I'm always experiencing stuff, right? I'm experiencing life. And I think that's where you understand where like you feel like you're in that, that treadmill in the airport, that walk thing that you're just like walking fast past everybody. You start becoming one of those people, figuratively speaking. So give yourself that time to marinate on that.
I feel good in general. Like in general, I popped out of my funk. Like right after that first eclipse, I really just popped right out.
Good.
And then, but I'm still purging some things. And whenever I feel like I need to cry, I just cry. And I feel like one more cry I get out of me is one less I got in me.
Well, true, but that's also being present with it, right? Because you're not. But that's you being present with it. You're not judging yourself about it. Like, this is how I feel. I'm expressing it. That's the point. That's movement.
Yeah.
But what else? Because I mean, it's you keep cutting out, and the connection is bad because you keep cutting out, so I don't hear you very well.
The connection is there.
Yes, it's bad. That's an interesting. I gotta take a screenshot of that. The light on that is awesome. No, you're frozen.
Maybe I lost it.
I hear you. Can you hear me?
There you are. I'm sorry. Yeah.
There she is. Back. Okay. All right. So yeah. So
I turned my light off.
Yeah. Okay.
There's my little horse.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
His name's Oscar.
Beautiful. Beautiful. But you get what I'm saying, love? Like understand you're in that process of now, and you're mastering now energy. That's it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
And you purge express. I get it. Then you teach yourself, oh, I get this process now. Oh, okay, got it. Feel express. Move on. Feel express. Oh, got it. And then now you master that. Then relationships come in. Then it's all about enjoyment. Then it's all about, really that natural, pure expression. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, we just so people know, I've been working with you for like a year and a half now. So there's a lot of backstory behind this. There's a lot of backstory behind this that people don't understand. So, and you do check-ins, and this is a check-in. I just want people to understand what this conversation really is about. But you've made some humongous leaps. So when you make a leap, there's got to be a plateau where you're just like, okay, I'm breathing, I'm kind of purging a little bit, I'm kind of like being abstract, I'm just kind of like not really focusing on here or there, I'm just kind of like plateauing right now. That's where sanity comes in, actually. Then you kind of jump off the cliff, you dive in, you start being more free spirited, and so very good process. Awesome process.
I feel like I've been learning a lot about, just that quiet space. And also I've been like dabbling a little bit, with, boundaries, what I want, like making things fair when I interact with other people, one moment at a time. There again, not like just jumping ahead
You're breaking
or
out.
overexcited, and feeling what that feels like when my nervous system feeling what that feels like when my nervous system gets
That's right.
up.
That's right. I mean, nervous system is like huge.
Yeah.
No, I heard that. It was just very choppy. But you seem like so much more lighter, to be honest with you, than when we had a session. Like you just feel like you're processing, but you're just like there's like this lightness. Like I get it. I'm seeing my eyes are kind of opening. Like it's just like huge lightness. And
I'm starting to feel grateful, like just appreciative, and like everything is probably for the best, even though I didn't like it at the time.
Of course. Well, because then you start recognizing, everything's a chapter. Everything's a chapter anyway. So that was that chapter. This is this chapter. What's my next chapter I'm creating now, right? It's stupidly simple. And that's the thing. So the processing can be very difficult. So the structures, the psychological structure, the spiritual structure, all that shit is simple. There's no complications to that. The complexity is in how we process our shit. And so, but I really feel that you really understand. I tell people all the time, these mystical things we hear all the time, be present, let go of the flow, all that stuff. We hear it all the time, but, and the powers within, we hear that all the time. It sounds cliche, but when you really grasp and understand what that means, it's powerful, right? And you're grasping what it means to be present. Like really understanding what that means right now. That's huge.
Just doing what's in front of me. Like if work is in front of me, I'll work. If I have
you put love into it, right? Right. You're putting love into that. Exactly. 100%. You're putting love into it.
My future self. I'm supporting everything for the future and the present.
Well, it's creating the future self. But it's creating the future self. All that's creating the future self. All that, like I'm putting love into it. It's people say, well, how do I love? I hate my job. I said, well, put love into it. Watch your experience change. It's all how you change your mindset, right? And so you're learning this. That's huge. That's huge because that's creating the future self. Like all of a sudden, the future self will just show up and be like, "Hello, I'm here. Here's your relationship. Like here's your, all the stuff that you deserve. Like all that just comes to you. It just happens. So good for you. Good for you. Good for you. I'm glad. I mean, I always knew from the session 1 that I had with you, you're going to get here easily. And you are. No brainer. Thank you for sharing your horse with us. What's that?
Well, this is where I am just about every Thursday night while you're on your show. I'm at work just twisting away.
We're twisting over here too. So.
Twisting away.
Okay. Well, it's good to see you, my love, and thank you for sharing that beautiful, beautiful horse. And I'm very happy that where you're at, And you remember, I got your back. I've always had your back.
Yeah, I know. I'll be over to see you in Tahoe.
Yes. I'm moving. Actually, moving in May. Actually, no, before May. This in April. I'm moving. We're gone. Got a house. We're going. It's gonna be quick. So I'm excited.
So exciting.
Yeah.
All right, I'll let you go. Thanks so much.
I love you. I'm proud of you, and I don't mean that in a condescending way. I mean as a brother or sister. I'm proud of you. Energy, right? So you're doing awesome.
Hey,
I'm very happy.
You too. I really am.
Thank you, my love. Talk soon, okay?
Okay.
Keep me posted.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Bye, my love. I am ecstatic of y'all's progressions. Like seriously, I'm ecstatic. Y'all doing amazing. Seriously, Stephanie, James, Crazy, the Coconuts, Sarah, you guys are fucking doing amazing, right? Remember, we're not seeking to be like these giddy idiots. Like, I'm so happy. We're not looking for that. We're looking for serenity, peace, and then being in control and in power of our lives. That's what we're looking for. Not just like, I'm so excited. Ooh. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the fact that I get it. I got power. I'm in control. I'm driving the show, right? That's what we're looking for. And you all are doing it. Love it. I'm very, very happy. And I wish there was another word I could say I'm proud of you versus, I can't find another word but other than that, but it sounds condescending. But let me do the final 2 card pulls and then we will get into our sound bathing with Lafayette. And then I'll be out of here. Out of here. Is it me or do I look like I'm like a mock-up version of Superman with these colors? Don't I need, is it like the Superman colors? I don't know, I just saw that. What happened to that person that said, I wanted to hear more than, I'm just thinking like, the intellect of like, send. What, I'm just curious, like, what drives someone? I wish I would have heard more conversation from that. Pick a fight or even an insult would be more fun. Okay, for Angie. Oh, Jesus. They're not intentional. This like whoopy swoopy haircut, I just, it's easy. If the hair falls like this, like the hair, I put up, it just falls like this. I'm like, I guess that's how I'm going to keep it. So, and then this color, I'm like, wait a minute, it's like Superman colors. Okay. But I don't think Superman would wear velvet. Only this homo over here would wear velvet. Okay. Okay, remember these card pulls are simple. I have to be clear about this. The Nine of Wands and then in the Eight of Swords in reverse. I feel like you're caught in between something. Decision making is like you're trying to make decisions for things that really you shouldn't be making decisions on, and maybe you're caught between rock and a hard place type of energy. But you have to ask yourself: the decision you're making really for you, or is it for somebody else? So I'm going to simplify this again. 2 of Swords, like which decision to make, and and it's almost like a stalemate energy. It's like, but who are you making the decision for? Make sure the decision's coming from you and only you. Simple message, That's really something I think that's really important for you to understand. Because I feel like you're saying I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, but I'm like, but it's other people's decisions to make, not yours. Come with your own decision, Angie. Make your own decisions. Come from your heart. Come from your own position. And ask yourself, are you really allowing other people's indecisiveness or energies to, change your modality of what you should do or change your decisions and choices? And if so, why? What people feel is none of our responsibility or none of our business, what people feel. Just like saying what I'm feeling is I tell people it's none of your fucking business what I feel and what I'm thinking. Go worry about your own self, right? Same thing here. What people are thinking and feeling, it's none of your business. And don't make what you're feeling their business either. Make a separation of that. Find that more nurturing energy for the self. Again, very, very repetitive in message, but that's what the message is for you on that regard. Nothing really predictive other than just more of an emotional read on that one. But 3 of Cups also, the 3 of Cups is all about celebration too. So I feel like you're on the verge of that too. So, and I also feel like, you realize, let the others make the decisions and wow, that actually worked best for them. I didn't have to help them make a decision. You know what I mean? So I feel like you'll find success in taking a step back and letting people make their own decisions in that sense. It could be family, people that are close to you in that sense, but, sometimes I think we're overly empathetic that we feel like we have to be responsible because other people can't do it. But that's actually, if we think about it, it's arrogance. So a lot of times we're intentionally being arrogant. Like I tell my dad, he doesn't want to receive things. Oh, I don't need a gift. And it's like, you're being arrogant because you don't want to receive, but same thing here, it's just like, we think that we have to take over because they can't do it for themselves. Like, no, teach them how to do it, and let them do it themselves. So, but yeah, I think you'll find the success in that. So maybe you're working on that, so So it's, yeah, that was kind of more of an emotional read. And the last but certainly not least is Abby Coe. So we're just going to see what the bad thing is. I am burnt out right now. I've gone, it's almost 2.5 hours. And I have a day of sessions tomorrow too, like full sessions. So we want to make sure. Take your time with your career, Abby. Take your time. This is all about craftsmanship and focusing on your abilities. So I feel like this year be great prospects with your work and your career and your expression with career, and your and whatever handiwork that you're doing in a sense. And it's not handiwork, but but definitely working on building the aspects of being self-sufficient in your work life. But the Knight of Swords is like saying like take your time. You might be rushing it too much. Don't be rushing so much, like having to get the next aspect of your work and your career. It's just like, it's kind of what we said before with Sarah. It's like, enjoying the present moment, putting love into it now. Because I do feel a lot of changes coming to pass, and figuring out what that niches of your craft really is and your skill sets when it comes to your work endeavors and so forth. So, and releasing the load. This is advice, say release the load. You might be taking on too much. You might be trying to get too much done at the same time. Like take a step back, like one thing at a time. That's honestly, we try to take everything on at once to make things quicker in our life. The paradox is you slow yourselves down massively. Think of it. If I'm going to take on all this energy and carry them back, are you going to run quickly? You're like, oh my God, you're so slow, right? One at a time, you're moving. Okay, I'll take this on. You're moving, and one at a time, and you start building, you go so much quicker. So remember that. Remember this. So take it in steps. When you pile it all at the same time, you're going to go so slow, and then I'm trying to speed it up. It's like you're not doing anything. You're just compiling more, So yeah, Abby. So a lot of change with the career this year, and I see a progression in that sense. That the message is, guys, is don't try to rush it. Don't try to speed it up. Understand, do it in chapters and segments, and that's how you successfully accelerate things in life. So I feel good success in the career endeavor, and a lot of I would say new ideas come to the surface for you too. So that's all great. And yes, I know I can't make this an all-nighter. I need to sleep. I had 2 shows today, so. Yeah, and so you might find too that this year primarily you might have inspiration. Oh my gosh! So you might find a lot of that. So just take it piece to piece. Again, be present with the piece, and you'll realize, oh wow, that's the secret to accelerating things. Is to take my time to accelerate, not to rush it, and then So, I had to master that one too, and boy, oh my gosh, what a relief that I learned that. So yeah. All right, guys, we're going to do a quick sound bathing for 5-6 minutes of sound bathing, and I'm going to be right back. So here's a little wind down with a sound bathing from Lafayette. Be right back. And it says it needs to locate the file. Give me a moment here. Should we pick a random one here? Give me a moment, guys. Because the video's not there. Oh, I moved the video. That's why. Let me just find the video here. PM videos. Where's Lafayette sound bath? Commercial. Commercial. Here it is. Awesome. Right? You guys awake? That was a little bit of a bouncy one today. So I feel like we have a lot of bouncy energy, right? Usually Lafayette does a lot of synthy, and so it's appropriate for the modality of bouncy energy. So thank you for that one, Lafayette. So we have a brand new one coming next week, by the way. So stay tuned. You guys are all amazing. I appreciate every single one of you all. Thank you for showing up. It's been a long night. And so again, catch me next week, next Thursday. And we are not changing the time. I am not changing the time. It's going to be remain on Thursday nights. I fought with Christopher. He wanted to take Thursday nights for LOL. I'm like, nope, not doing it. So I'm going to try to move LOL to Wednesday night. So I'm like, I am not changing my Thursday night show. I'm sorry. So we're staying for Thursday nights, those of you who are wondering. And so I appreciate every single one of you guys. You guys are amazing. Remember, you are all the gods and goddesses of your own. Oof, gosh, something happened there. You're all the gods and goddesses of your own myth. What do you want to create? Much love. And again, guys who are new, you can book a one-on-one session, scottcruiserpm.com. I'll roll the commercial again so you can see it. Until next time, see you next week. Good night.
Scott Cruz is popularly known for his life-changing one-on-one readings to also guide in your soul ascension journey. With life readings, get insight into your relationships, career, health, trauma healings, past life regressions, and more. Want to connect with a loved one who's transitioned? Scott's mediumship session can be the gateway to you and your loved ones in spirit, bridging the gap between the physical and the spiritual realm. If you want to enhance your own psychic ability, Scott's Intuition Builder session can help expand your psychic and mediumship abilities. So sign on to scottcruisepm.com to book your own personal session today.